We got a huge show tonight, Coach Cole. Let's give them a few minutes to get in here. They've been waiting on this one, man.
Look, man, it's a fantastic show, man. Anytime that you can bring a Hall of Famer on, somebody that's reached the mountaintop in their profession, as well as the face and the voice, of HBCU football.
Absolutely. Let's give them a couple more minutes, Coach, and then we'll get this thing going. Oh, yeah, they coming on in here now.
I was at Prairie View, man, and, I was meeting some of the coaches, and shit, they know more about me than I know about myself.
Hey, you done seen a lot and done a lot, Coach. That explains everything.
Yeah, that's for sure.
Hey, I didn't realize we were bringing Mr. Campbell, one of Mr. Campbell's favorite people on the show tonight. I learned that last night.
Yeah, then he got his Florida A&M real big. Nothing about a black college, nothing. He got his Florida A&M on tonight.
All right, I'd like to welcome everybody to HBCU Coaches Corner. My name is Rocky, your co-host, along with the Rattler himself, Mr. Campbell, and our featured host. The reason why this show is called HBCU Coaches Corner, none other than my man, Johnnie Cole. Well, with no further ado, you know how we get this started, Coach. How you doing, Coach?
Man, I'm doing great, Coach. I'm on my vacation travel. My first stop is Houston, that's where I'm at now. I'll be in Atlanta this weekend for the HBCU Black College Football Hall of Fame. And then I'm heading from there to Dallas and, see my son and make some visits. Then I'm heading up to Portland, up there to see my other son. And, of course, my brother's up there also. And I'll come down to San Diego for Juneteenth, I'm invited to a Juneteenth celebration in San Diego. So from there, man, I don't know where I'm going to be. I definitely be somewhere. It won't be at home. So I'm taking real advantage of this summer vacation this year.
Hey, Coach, you doing a world tour, it looks like, Coach.
Well, or a domestic tour in the States.
Yeah.
However you want to call it, Coach.
Hey, Mr. Campbell, how's it going, man? How you doing today?
Man, I'm excited. It's always good to have people that wish they would have with the FAMU to join us tonight. You know what I mean? So I'm excited about that. Get to hear about the other side of how they live, Yeah. So we got a guy that, is well respected and things like that. Actually, when he played, we'll talk about that. Actually beat the Rattlers. I think the one time he did beat us. You know what I mean? So he'll probably talk about that, man. I'm excited, man. This is a big show right here.
Hey, when we heard a month ago that Jay would be inducted into the Black College Hall of Fame, I asked Coach Cole, is there any chance we could get him on? And Coach Cole delivered like he always does. I don't know how he does it, Coach. How does he know everybody that's anybody in HBCU sports?
But hey, Rocky, let me say something. And Coach and I talk about, but you know what's amazing to me? But there's folks that got other things, and but they won't say don't nobody like Coach, and Coach ain't no good, and Coach should be in jail. Boy, they be all on their YouTube and stuff like that. But isn't it amazing how the truth comes out? Because respect is when people show up to your doorstep. Yeah. So, Coach, do not ever believe what they say, because half of it's lie and the other half is untruth. How about that?
Well, thank you, Coach. I'm glad you say that, man. And I try to do things the right way and treat people. My mother and father always taught us the basics. Treat people how you want to be treated, man. And I felt I've always done that. And the blessings have been coming, and since this show have started, and it's really a good feeling inside that. And I want to thank you two as well as making my dream come true to be able to put our African American superstars on the front page, and we got several tonight. Tonight, man. Wow. You talk about a national known HBCU guy. And I guess I'll lead on to the introduction, Coach. We got some friends of his that's gonna show up tonight, man. That and that's gonna come on and give a lot of information. But the guys, Jay Skywalker, I met him through coaching and him being an announcer. He is the second coming of the voice of HBCU. And I when I started, it was Charlie Neal, and it's been passed on to Jay Skywalker, which is doing it. He's doing even bigger things. He's doing stuff at the HBC level as well as the national level, man. And he's our guy. He come with the I got 5 on it, and he's sensational. He inspired me to try to get behind, and I've been successful to get there, but I ain't nowhere near him. Without further ado, man, Jay Skywalker, he'll let you know he is the truth. He's from California, came all the way over here with these Southern boys, and I got Coach gonna tell a story. But welcome to the show, Jay Skywalker.
Man, what a great introduction there. What a great introduction. And, hearing some of the talks that y'all were having, and one of y'all said, man, it's amazing, man. Coach Cole know everybody. That's great. But also on the flip side of that, everybody know Coach Cole too, for better or for worse. But that's what everybody knows him. But I'm glad y'all can have me on there. It's always good to be around some of the people that respect. Coach Cole, don't take away from yourself. I mean, one of the best moments I remember in broadcast was watching you win that SWAC championship in football at the school. They said you couldn't win the SWAC championship back. Moments like that. So I was part of that journey. You welcomed me into that in my broadcasting career. When I got into it, even back when you were at Tennessee State, you were always so supportive. So when the phone rings, I got to pick up when it says Johnnie Cole.
Coach, man, I've been talking to some people about you, and one of the things that said that you was in Long Beach State. You're a West Coast guy.
Through and through.
And this is the worst I ever heard about Jay Skywalker. He was the 4th quarterback. Wouldn't get no playing time. And they doused the coach. And unfortunately, the coach was old and he ended up passing away, and people started coming to get players. But they left one player. And the man I'm going to bring on next is Coach Steve Wilson. And he'll finish the story. They end up bringing.
Hold on, guy.
He brought this 4th-team quarterback to Howard. And so I want to bring on the outstanding coach, man. I had an opportunity to sit with Steve, Coach Wilson, and see how they mastered. Those East Coast boys, they got an offense. They got their own offense. But Coach Steve, you can finish that story.
Hey, thanks for having me, Johnny. My introduction didn't match Jay's introduction, but I understand. Okay. All right. Hey, that was a true story, but we really knew what we were looking for, and he seemed to fit the mold, and it didn't take much for us to get going once he got here. So we did a lot of good things, and there are a lot of stories around what happened that year, no doubt. Well, it was actually 2 years.
Yeah.
That was the first time. That was the first time I ever heard I was a 4th-string quarterback at Long Beach. I mean, I was a comfortable third. I was traveling. I got in the game, but 4th string. Okay, that's the way we going
when
with
you
it
get
now.
older, when you get older, the stories get bigger and bigger and bigger. So you might have been 15.
Well, it ended up being a situation, guys, where you have to take a hunch. We had been building our football team, but the one position we had not put in place to do the things we wanted to do was quarterback. And we kind of brought Jay in and gave him the keys, and he was ready to go. So, just being able to find the right guy, but we also found the right personality that we needed in a year like that to be out front in the nation's capital. It was a national affair every day. We were live at 5 every day.
Jay,
I had to pull Jay out of drill so he could go do his interview at 5 o'clock. All right, Jay, but what ended up happening that was great is that we had the right showmen in front of the cameras And he sold our program and our university very well during that time.
Yeah. Jay, you're at Long Beach. They come get you. They bring you. You go from coast to coast. Did you know anybody out there? And it was a losing program.
You know, that's the thing about, like, you know, prior to that, you know, some other schools I talked about going there, but Coach Wilson did a good job with my mom. She always kept saying, when you going to visit Howard? And I took the visit to Howard, and they sold me on. I mean, they sold me on, and it was, you know, I left there like, I'm going to be making a big mistake if I don't come see if any of this stuff they're telling me is true, any of it. And I'm fortunate for my dreams came true. I mean, and Coach tell you now, I never saw a football field. I never saw anything else. I saw, you know, the city of D.C., and I saw how big Howard was. And the president at the time, Dr. Jennifer, you know, he sat me down and kind of said, you realize that Howard University is the biggest thing that black folks have in the United States of America. And I thought about that. And I said, even if it's not the biggest, if it's the second biggest or the third biggest, I'm in a good situation there. And if I get them to even talk about me as a football player in the nation's capital, you know, it would be a really good situation. So I believed in Coach Wilson. He took a chance on me, and the things he told me could happen, I mean, it happened. It happened. I mean, just imagine as a quarterback come in and, you know, he says, hey, if you do X, Y, and Z, you know, you're going to be one of the top 5 quarterbacks in America. And when it was all said and done, I still have it. The draft guide, you look at Mel Kiper's draft guide, guess who's ranked the number 3 quarterback in America? Behind 2 guys that went first round. I'm number 3. Number 4. Nobody had me less than the 5th ranked quarterback. So dreams came true. Dreams came true.
I want to say this. I don't know if Coach Wilson nor you guys were really the first. Coach Wilson, no experience coming from the NFL, coming to a coaching job, and you not necessarily his son, but coming from Division I school into black college. And y'all two was the first successful instead of the Sanders. And, you know, I get on a lot, Jay. They think that the swag in me, I just started today. But there's been great players and great coaches as y'all two. Did y'all guys too really realize that?
Well, we knew they had thrown the ball. I was a fan of the SWAC for years. They've been throwing the ball down there for a long time. In the MEAC, they hadn't. MEAC was primarily a run league. We came in and started throwing the football, and it was a big shock. My problem was that I didn't have anybody to throw it. And so Jay was the first guy. I had played in the AFC West as a defensive back where they threw the ball every down. All right. And I knew how to attack defenses. And we just taught our kids that system. And every week, you know, we had a chance to win, and we won a lot of them.
Yeah, right.
And Coach did the thing where he would showcase, you know. There were times, I remember we were playing a game one time, and it was all by design. He said, Jay, I want you to take a hard roll out to the left, pivot, throw the ball across field. Coaches never tell you throw across field. You know that, Coach Cole. He said, pivot, square your shoulders up, and let it fly to Jimmy Cunningham on a 70-yard bomb to show off your arm strength. And then, you know, we're playing Delaware State, and it's the pregame Delaware State, you know, championships on the line for the undefeated season, and it is windy. It's windy. It's all outdoors. Coach Wilson knew I really didn't care about winning, because if you're a strong-arm quarterback, you just cut it up. And we literally sit there. He tells the coach, he said, give me a cover 2 and give me 3 verts. Jay, stick it. And I'm thinking, okay, you're telling me stick it. I drop back, and I let it go. And you're thinking, okay, that was, you know, I could do that. You don't know how many players I've seen from Delaware State that saw that throw in pregame, Coach.
Right.
They saw it in pregame and said, when we saw that, we said, oh, we're not winning today. We're not winning today. So Coach Wilson had that vision, and it was really up to me to just go out there and execute. And the last point I'll make to what you just said, Coach Cole, was, you know, HBCU football has been there for a long time. And when I look about me going into the Black College Football Hall of Fame, I'm just a smidget of those great players that I played in my generation. And that's the catch-up we need. You know, 90s HBCU football, you had some big names there. And I think I'm going to be one of many that are going to come and follow to go into the Black College Football Hall of Fame. You know, Coach talked about Ted White. Ted White should be there. You talk about I played against Earl Holmes. Earl Holmes should be there. Played against when you talk about Terry Mickens, guys of that nature. Jacquay Nunley's going in with me this year. I think it was kind of our job to be the guys in the 90s to keep the product alive, to make the product better, and to keep the tradition and everything going. So I'm going in for all those guys, and there should be more following up behind me.
You know, Mike Strahan is in that 90s group too. He was in the 90s. And Leon Murray at Tennessee State's in that group as well.
Oh, yeah, Robert Forche. You got Rob Forche.
It's a lot of great ones, Coach. A lot of great ones.
Steve McNair and I, we were rivals, but, it took me about 15 years to get in after him. But we were rivals that time frame, and that's what we did. It was a great brand of football. Some of the guys at Tennessee State when you were there, Charles Anthony, names like that. We've had some players that have come through in recent times, even though I'm like ancient now, but that's my message.
Now, Coach, did you have anything to do with talking Jay in? Because like you told me, we talked before we even got on here about how, I ain't gonna say terrible y'all were, but y'all had one of the biggest turnarounds in NCAA football as well. I think.
Well, what happens is that you come in off a field where you've never coached, and all of a sudden you're the head coach. You can only do what you know. And I brought NFL with me, and I brought NFL coaches with me. And I guess the same thing that Deion did in the last 4 or 5 years, I did 35 years ago. All right, the exact same way. And being in the nation's capital, we needed a quarterback that people wanted to see. All right, and we needed a quarterback that people wanted to listen to. And Jay fit all of those pieces, and we got hot.
Yeah,
we got hot, and it was fun to watch, and it's fun to review. But as Jay knows, it wasn't easy.
Yeah.
It wasn't easy. We got tested a few times.
Yeah, So Jay, according to Coach Wilson, you said I want to be an All-American, but also I want to do TV. Where did that come from? Was it a little boy? Was it parents? Where did that come from? Because you fit, man. You fit.
I owe Coach for that too, in a way he probably doesn't know, and I really owe his wife because it was, I had an opportunity to do a sideline game as a sideline reporter at Howard, and I did no preparation. I did nothing. I went out there raw, and I'm gonna tell you, I was awful. And I was so when I went and saw it, I was so embarrassed. And then Coach Wilson called me and he said, what'd you think about the game you did and everything? And I said, man, I can't believe I was so bad. And I'm willing to give it up at that point. But Coach Wilson told me, his wife Kathy, and she said, you know what? Jay's got it. If he works at it, he can do this. And I just needed that one person to tell me they saw something in me. And then the next year,
was it a college game or
it was a college game? I was a sideline reporter. I didn't study. I just went out there like, this is easy. I can do it. It'd be easy, no problem. It's a Howard sideline game. And the camera's looking at me and I'm looking away and people are talking to me and I'm just raw. And I was so bad that I think the competitive nature in me came out. And I asked that producer, will you give me another chance to do another game? And he really said, I don't know. I'm that bad, but but then when I came and did a game for him the next year, he told me I've never seen anybody improve so much from one year to the other. And you tell me you haven't done any other games, and it was just me doing the preparation, me just prepping, knowing what I was in for, and I just put my heart into it, and I wanted to compete. And I think it was because Coach Wilson and his wife saw something in me that I don't think many people did see.
Well, Jay, let me say this: we know why you were successful at Howard, but I want to really talk about right now. Why are you successful at ESPN right now?
Man, I've been fortunate. I've been for. Oh no, is that? Oh, you got to be kidding me! I'm getting ready to toot my own horn. There they go. There she go. Oh boy!
You always feel better.
We're gonna make sure you don't lie tonight,
Jay. Come on, man.
That's a good one. You got me good there.
Now, wait a minute now. Hold on real quick now. Because, Jay, you see the background, right? You see the background. So we had to bring your better half on to make sure this was a successful interview. I just want to make sure. This is Tiffany Green, Florida A&M University.
It's your night, man. It's your night.
Hall of Famer.
It's too many snakes. Too many snakes on here. I told y'all I don't like snakks.
We
Beta Alpha
rattlers,
AKA.
not
So I just want to
snakes,
put that
okay? Get that
just want
right.
to put
Get
that out
right.
there.
We rattlers, not snakes.
Just want to put that out there. So we just had to have a little bit of balance on the show.
You got me. You got
What
me.
up,
That
Jay
way.
Walk? And it's not that often that Jay is speechless. You know, because Jay has a lot to say. He will give you his opinion. What's up, Jay?
You got me.
Congratulations to you, Jay. I don't get an opportunity to be there with you later this month or in a week or so, but just wanted to come on and say congratulations. And they actually asked me to say nice things about you. I was like, man.
I know that should have been real easy for you, but you're gonna make it harder than it has to be.
Well, let me say this, Jay. I'm gonna have you guys inspire me. You know, I'm now on HBCU Go TV, and man, you guys are super. You know, you are the example. You represent HBCU, and I know you guys are nationally known now. And I just want to thank you because I pick up. I'm trying to get that 5 down, Jay. and Tiffany, you be rolling, boy. You be rolling. And now, you know, Jay, when you talk about people be talking to your ear, yeah, that happened to me too. So, man, I want to appreciate you guys, man. And you know, I'm really, Jay, I started this show, you know, just to make sure that we don't forget our champions. You know, we've had Bill Hayes on here, Doug Williams. We've had them all, you know, and you now, and like I said, the second generation of the voice for HBCU football. And I want to thank you and thank you, Tiffany. Also, y'all represent us well. I want you to keep up the good work. But we got you, Jay. I got you this time.
you snuck in Tiff on me. That was a good one there. And I give hats off to my part. You know, as you mentioned earlier, you know, it was Charlie Neal. Charlie Neal gave me an opportunity to live out a dream, something I never thought I'd see. You know, he called my games and I got to work with him. And then when Tiffany came along, it was so refreshing to see somebody that cared as much about the products, which is HBCU, not just on the field, off the field, the pageantry, the camaraderie. And she made me take my game to another level because I was a football player at Howard. And I say that I had to learn. I love Howard University. I don't love Howard University as much as Tiffany loves Florida A&M. I mean, they brainwashed them rattlers down there. Once I learned that, I said, let me stay in my lane and I can do the football and you can do the other stuff.
Right.
But I think that's what's so cool, and I thank you for that, Jay, because this is actually an opportunity for us to shine on you and to give you your flowers because you welcomed me into this space. Yes, we are both HBCU products, but you welcomed me in HBCU football and really helped me to get my footing. And I don't want to say like it was an okay, but like no, she's good. Like she's good. Like give her a shot. But standing next to you, meeting all these different coaches, you always opened the door or made sure that was room for me to enter the door with you. And I appreciate you for that. And you are really good. So you do have the it factor. Like what Coach Wilson and his wife saw long ago, you have it. Like you've just got
all
this.
right. I'm not used to this now. You're making me uncomfortable
like
now. This
doesn't
ain't what we
me
do,
giving
Tiff.
him compliments. It's not what we do. But I do have to give you your props. Like you really do have it. And I tell you all the time, like you're exceptional at this. You're really, really good at what you do. And I'm so glad that I get to do it alongside you. Okay. Is that it? Can I stop there? You want me to keep going? But no, I sincerely appreciate you. I love you like a brother. You get on my nerves like a brother as well. That comes across on air, but I think that's also the magic and the chemistry that we've created over time. And you always look out for me.
Yeah.
Hey, Tiff, I want to thank you for joining us. And I also want to thank Mr. Campbell for hooking it up. But this is what I want to ask you, Tiff. When you came in, were you aware what a prolific passer Jay was in HBCU football when you took the job at ESPN?
Well, Ted White is my favorite Howard quarterback. So, I mean, I knew about
Tiffany, you done, girl. You done. You know you're done.
No, but Jay let me know. You know, Jay let me know. But honestly, I'll be honest. I'll be real with you. he didn't. I knew like to some degree, but probably not fully. What I began to learn very quickly, though, was everybody else knew about it, right? And so when we would talk to coaches or when we would go to games, like no matter, still to this day, Sky, man, what's up, Sky? What's going on? Oh man, you remember when you did this? Da, 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 da. So I learned very quickly just how great Jay was as a quarterback, and still is. Like he'll get out there and still pass it up. Him and Connell Maynard would go back and forth and always have these QB battles. It was fun, but everybody let me know that there was a legend of, Sky, and I get to work alongside him, but I get to hear the stories as well. And I know he was a damn good quarterback. So.
Now, Rob and Johnny and Campbell over there, Mr. Fellow Rattler, you know why Ted's our favorite quarterback, right? Because Ted White never beat Florida A&M. See, I was a Rattler killer. I kill rattlers. I kill snakes. Ted never killed that snake, so that's why Ted is our favorite quarterback.
Don't let him do it to you. Who's the number one in receiving yards? I mean, passing yards.
Ooh.
Rock, you gonna let it take over your show like that? I'm waiting for you to take over and jump in. If they want more of this, they can watch Black College Live. This is what you get on Black College Live.
Okay, this is what happens. We already done the homework. They told me that. I said, don't mention that tonight. It's his night tonight. Don't mention that tonight.
No. I give Jay a really hard time, but he's rubbed off on me. Because he gives me a hard time. We give each other a hard time, but I got nothing but love for Jay. Real talk. Talk.
This is what happens because we don't come, fam. You people don't come with concepts. We come prepared, ready to go. See, Tiffany found out this in a short term and ready to go. But I want to ask you guys something because, as they say, you guys are not for the culture. And when you go out and you do your tailgates, and when you go out and you meet people in the streets, how does that feel to be for the culture and be branded as the voices of HBCUs? Because, you see people like, and Coach talked about Charlie Neal. Charlie Neal actually worked for my father and Whoop. So I understood what Charlie Neal meant. But to see, as we all have grown up together, Tiffany, I'm a little bit older than you, Jay, just 2 years. So, but we're all in the same generation. And for you to be as the voice of this generation, how does that feel and the pride that you take in that when people, even from the older to the younger, say that you're for the culture?
I mean, it's an immense amount of pride. I mean, obviously, you're hoping that you're representing in the best way possible, and to see the excellency that is HBCU and the products that have been produced from it. So I think that it makes you feel good. And sometimes you can't feed into everything. Try not to get too high or too low, but certainly it is. It's refreshing, but it's also reaffirming. Right? Like that what we're doing matters, that it is making a difference, that it is impacting people, but people think that we're also representing them in the best way possible. That's what we aim to do. We aim to educate and entertain about HBCUs and about the game of football. And we hope that I think we both want to do that. So I'm extremely grateful, humbled, and blessed that people see us in that light and that we can be examples for, because I didn't have those examples growing up, right? Like what I saw from people who were broadcasting games, I didn't see a whole lot of HBCU games. I did see the BET games. But then just women in football, I didn't get to see that. So I'm glad I can stand as that example. But to HBCU products, graduates who love HBCUs, who put it at the forefront, and it's just as important to us as any other conference or group of schools as anybody else. I take great pride in that.
It's probably my favorite part of the job. I mean, really, like when you go out there, and your peers, your folks, as we want to call them, when they see you, they're like, "Oh, what's up, man? Oh, that's Jay. Oh, that's Jay." And they ask you, "Oh, man, where's Tiff?" The same thing, Tiff. "Oh, where's Jay?" And we go back and forth, and you take the good moments. Like I like when I see young African American women sitting outside our press box waiting for Tiffany Green to show up because she's a history maker. She's a trailblazer. Who am I to get in the way of that? I like that. That's what it's all about. We're giving back, and you can see the impact that we're making there. And then for me, I also like it when, I'll go to Tallahassee, Florida. I'll go to Jackson, Mississippi, and whether the football team's winning or losing, I might have said something that the fans didn't like, but they'll let me know they didn't like it. But at the end of it, oh, okay, and let me get this picture with you real quick too.
Right. And we gonna get into that, Jay. Trust me, we gonna get into that about those two schools, just to let you know.
Tiff has seen it happen. It happens a lot. So as much as I hear about it, I also feel the love in the same way. I also feel the love too. It's all HBCU love, and I mean, I got the best job in the world.
Yeah. He's got really thick skin, y'all, because he gets so many different comments, both good and different and not so good, and he handles it like a champ. Like, I don't want to be in his shoes in that space, right? Like, it's Jay's give me 5, it's Jay's opinion, and he stands strong in what he says or believes, and I love that because he can take some of that heat or a lot of that heat. I don't know how he does it. I'm glad I sit in my chair and that he gets to do what he does, and he does it well. He's built for that, so I give him props because he gets a lot.
Jay, let me ask you a question about the kind of the negative feedback that you get from time to time. Do you think it's driven by your opinions, or back in 1993 you carved people up like Swiss cheese?
Oh, I would say before Tiffany came along, they used to love me in Tallahassee. They used to love me. But I go to the one defining moment. There was one year at the Florida Classic, I actually thought that Bethune-Cookman won the halftime show. And I said that on the air, and they never let me forget it. So ever since then, FAMU's just on it. The 363 yards and 4 touchdowns I threw against them, that don't matter no more. It's just that I said that the band wasn't better.
How can the man he know all the stats, man?
Oh, yeah, you know that, Coach. As the years go on, they get better and better. Now, I was a good quarterback. Now, you're coming to Atlanta for a reason this weekend. It's not just because of the microphone. But, but when I go to A&T, now that hate there that I get from A&T when I get the hate, that's because of what I did to them. I'm like one of the few guys, me and my boys at 93 Bison, we went down there. See, at North Carolina A&T, they couldn't even tell you who they beat for homecoming 2 years ago. But they'll tell you who they lost to in 1993 for their homecoming on national TV. We hear about that all the time. Oh, I was there at that game when y'all ruined G-Ho. Well, you shouldn't have scheduled us for G-Ho. Now, what am I supposed to say about that? I got to call it like I see it, right?
Right. One of the things that of course, I'm older than everybody on the show, but and I got the only reason why I did go to Black College is because I see Doug Williams and I heard Charlie McNeil's voice. Now, what got me was we don't see us as you, when I'm saying us as commentators from Black colleges to do Black college games. Every time a Black college game come on, there's a bunch of guys on this show that don't know anything about the Patriot. Don't know nothing really about the past, but what they don't slid to them. You know what I'm saying? Does that have any? Do you guys ever think about that? I know you two guys are right now sitting at the spot, but does that ever bother you or Jay before you got into this? To say that.
I will say it affects us in ways that y'all wouldn't see. So let's say we're doing a game, and me and Tim, we'll give each other a look like the person in charge of making this product look really good on TV could care less about it. And that's when our passion comes into it. That's when me and Tiff get together like, hold on, one of us got to say something to him about it. And she's better at being the nice one, because if I say something to her, get involved, think it's going to be trouble. So, and we've had moments, and we've had, producers out there, we're like, this person, no, you're just trying to get the game over with and move on. Mm-hmm. Where I'm like, no, these kids have an opportunity to play on national TV. Their mama, daddy, and all of them is watching, and we're not going to rush through this. We're going to give them everything that they deserve. And I think that's the stuff that I feel like we do more for HBCU behind the scenes than what you see on the camera. And I don't know how Tiff feels about it. But
I wish that they could get more coaches like myself, in some of those situations to really, show that we can go from the sideline into the box like our counterparts do, and that was some of the things that I want to be able to happen, that they could see more Black faces. They could see more guys from HBCU schools that actually can do the job just as good as anybody else.
Yeah, I think that's a great point too. I mean, because what Eddie Robinson Jr., I know,
he did it backwards. He did it backwards.
Yeah, but he's one of the few. And to your point, I do wish that there were more. And now you just sparked an idea in my head, so thank you for that. But I think we always attempt to, Jay and I, when he was talking about giving these players their opportunity and their shine, he always talks about building the stars, right? Let's build these stars that we have in front of us. But also, I think that's a great, thought too, to help. We work, I think, hand in hand with students when we're on campus and when we're just reaching out and just meeting young people about, hey, these are opportunities. So even if they are not in front of the camera, what opportunities can you get behind the camera? What opportunities can you get in decision-making roles, or just to kind of get on, that I think is important to the both of us, that we at least continue to see a pipeline of HBCU students from whatever schools and that we're covering, or teams that we're covering, have that opportunity for their students to get the chance to get behind the scenes, a production assistant, camera operator, producer, things like that. But I like your point too of getting more former coaches and players that opportunity on a wide range of games.
Yeah. Hey, Campbell, let me ask you a question, because we're journalists here as well. So I'm looking at your title there, and it says, Mr. Campbell, FAMU has the best homecoming. Do you really believe that? Is that your opinion? Do you have any facts, or are you just trying to mess with me?
Well, no, Jay, I had to set that up because you do your give me five. You know what I mean? And there's been time. Okay, so there's two things I want you to know. Not only did I go to Florida A&M, I'm actually from Jackson, Mississippi. So and I'm talking about way back, 100 people went to Jackson State. So my folks, when they found out that you were coming on, it was folks from the grade saying, hey, we need to talk about this cat, talking about why we're on the outside about our homecomings. So I wanted to make sure that you understood what your give me five, because there have been times in your give me five that either Jackson State or FAMU has been on the bubble, and for some reason Howard, because nobody goes to the game, but y'all go to the yard and party on Friday, that y'all had the best homecoming. And me and Tiffany were just trying to figure out, and Tiffany being a professional, she looks at you every time you do this give me five, and Jackson State and FAMU sitting on the outside. So we just need to understand that.
I will say this, and then I'm going to put my partner on the spot. So we're going to see if she's grown over the years. But I will say this. I've always said that the MEAC is a homecoming conference. Even when y'all were in the MEAC, Florida A&M, you knew it was a homecoming conference. It is. The SWAC is a tailgating conference. So you've got some homecomings that you say are phenomenal, but to me, I say that's nothing but Jackson State versus Southern on a regular Saturday game, a boombox classic. But when it comes to homecomings, I think traditionally the MEACs have put a little bit more into the homecomings than maybe the SWAC, because the SWAC, y'all tailgate every weekend. I mean, best tailgate in the country. There's no comparison between SWAC tailgate and MEAC tailgate.
You're talking about, so when you say homecoming, you're talking about when y'all go over there and party with Mark Barnes over there in D.C.
Hey,
See, what you fail to realize, CJ, this one will help you out, because I know you went to Howard and you made the mistake. But see, when you were in the SWAC, you don't have to leave the party because the party is already there. That's why we don't have to go change our clothes and go to some club and stand in line with it, because the party's there. So that is homecoming. So see, what you're talking about is standing in the brick.
That's just tailgate. That's a tailgate. Our homecoming, I've never seen anybody put 50,000 people on the yard, 50 to 6,000 people on the yard on a Friday. If you haven't been to Yard Fest, you haven't been to homecoming. Game day is a whole different thing where we shut down the whole city. And you're going to test my street cred. I go so far back with Jackson, Mississippi, that my picture used to be on the wall at a place called Peaches Cafe on Ferris Street, huh? Peaches on Ferris Street. Johnny T's my guy. So
that ain't going to work. But I got my question is, y'all have 50,000 on Friday, but you have 5,000 on Saturday. That's what
the stadium only holds 5,000. The stadium only holds 5,000. We have 100,000. But let me ask you this:
they watching the game after the tour.
Tiff Green.
Yeah.
FAMU homecoming better than Tuskegee homecoming.
Oh, okay. See. She wants to say it is, but she's so loyal to FAMU.
Well, hold on, wait a minute. But we talking about your give me five. So that could
be my give me five. I put Tuskegee ahead of FAMU's homecoming. Howard there, I put Jiho ahead of it. I'm trying to give her a chance to show her
Jiho is not
professionalism.
ahead. I'm sorry, Jiho is not ahead of.
But that wasn't the question I asked you, though, Tiffany. What was the question I asked? Don't try and state
Neither
it.
is, in my opinion, neither is Howard's homecoming, and we both had a chance to go to each respective homecoming.
Answer the question.
And we
Is
did.
Tuskegee homecoming better than Florida A&M?
Like, look, I'm gonna take a page out of your book. I'm gonna be like a politician. I'm not gonna really answer the question, but I believe, I believe in all things FAMU. But I will say that I was incredibly impressed with Tuskegee's homecoming because much like I feel at FAMU's homecoming, it felt like home. It felt like home, and it welcomed everybody.
Is that a yes?
Welcomed everybody. But FAMU's homecoming will still
reign
supreme.
See that? I mean, God.
Forever and always. But I gotta tell you, I really thoroughly enjoyed Tuskegee's homecoming. I would go back to Tuskegee's homecoming before I went back to Howard's homecoming.
Yeah, because
now you got to throw hate in there. Now you got to throw hate.
You have invoked FAMU in Tallahassee. I don't know how many times within this conversation. Okay,
it's two rattlers.
It's two rattlers here. You just decided to just dip FAMU in there every time. So now I am inciting, a little something.
We got to suspend Bishop Campbell for one show because we always have a Florida A&M person on.
That's what they do. I mean, that's what rattlers do.
Hey, you minus one show, Coach Bishop.
Hey, one show we didn't have a guest. He brought the head custodian on the show.
Hey, well, you know what?
He was the best one in the nation.
Hey, that's the thing about FAMU. You talk about a whole lot of stuff besides football. There's always something with FAMU. You're going to talk about a whole lot of stuff besides football. We're not even going to get to what's going on now, so I'm going to leave that there.
So, wait a minute. Now,
I'm going to let Tim handle that.
I was wrong for that. I'm sorry. My bad. I'm wrong for
that. One of our viewers asked both of you guys, how much media attention will Michael Vick and Deshaun Jackson bring to HBCU football?
It will.
You go first.
I think it'll be a healthy amount. I don't know that it will be the same as what we saw from Deion just because personalities are different. Like Deion was such a magnet. He drew the cameras. He had his own cameras there. But I do think we will pay attention to it, certainly in the build up to the season because of, their careers. But I think after the first few weeks of the season, it could kind of settle off. But I think initially we will get some more. It'll get some more traction or love.
I will say I think the Michael Vick hire could be a really good one because if you know that area of the country, I mean Michael Vick is loved across the country, but they love him in that Tidewater area down there, or the Hampton Roads, or Tidewater, whatever you want to call it. And Norfolk State, when Prime took the job at Jackson State, he knew what he was getting into, right? You got the largest HBCU FCS stadium in the country. If you fill that up, Jackson State was getting 40,000 fans before he got there, 35, I think, and they went up to 41. So he knew there was a base there. Norfolk State has the second largest HBCU football stadium in the country at 30,000 seats. So if Vic comes in there, and I think if he starts averaging 20, 25, gets up to 30, then that's a great move for them. And I think he's got enough of a talent base there. His name's big enough there where I think that can gain some traction a little bit quicker than I would say Deshaun Jackson will at Delaware State. Not to say he's not going to do a good job because Delaware State's right there by Philadelphia, the city of brotherly love. But I just think the move for Vic is the kind of closer to a version of prime time in the SWAC.
But I would challenge. The only reason why I ask or believe it will taper off, Jay, is because while he is beloved in that area, and don't get me wrong, I think he will have great success. Will he draw the same type of attention? No, as Coach Prime. And will he draw half of that attention? That's a question mark right now.
If he wins,
I think if he wins,
imagine a headline. Imagine a headline: Michael Vick returns to Atlanta, head coach of Norfolk State, and they make it to the Celebration Bowl.
Well, unfortunately, Jay, unfortunately, your coach Steve Wilson was the first guy to leave pro and come in and win a championship. Deion came in 20. It's been over 25 years later, so we got to wait another 25 years. So I don't think he's going to be as successful as the last two.
The success that'll play it on the field. We were talking about the hype and can he draw attention to it. And I think the MEAC is super competitive. I mean, you don't have any room for error there at all. So with such a short schedule, but I'm just talking about getting the fans involved. I mean, Norfolk State needs a little spark. You know, they need a little spark there to get it going there. And I think that's what they're looking for. I mean, that's when you go for a splash hire, that's what you're trying to do. Are there coaches that deserve opportunities? Absolutely. But they're making it clear they're trying to make a splash hire. And, you know, that's one of the splash hires that I think is out there. And it's going to be interesting to see how it plays out.
Yeah. Do you, Jay, looking over from being a player and then now moving into the media part and looking at the SWAC, you know, what you think about the times? I know you've seen me and my brother them coach and all the way up to now. What's your take on it now? Do you see the same talent? Do you not see the same talent, the ability to coach and make things happen? Of course, the SWAC, we don't. You know, we end up winning the Celebration Bowl for the first time, and I think it might be the first time ever. What's your take on that? Your view?
It is. I would say this, and I say this in a loving way, in a joking way, but also slightly serious. Like back in the day, defense used to be optional in the SWAC. You know, you go out there just have a shootout. 58, 56 fans loved it. If you lost by 2, okay. 48 to 45, that was it. I think the teams that have had success in the SWAC have been the team, they brought a physicality that came into the conference. And I saw that kind of start with Alcorn. When Alcorn was having their success, they were beating up on people in the trenches. Jackson State was beating up on people in the trenches. Florida A&M won last year because they could beat up on people in the trenches. So you're starting to see the physicalness in between the trenches way improved. I don't see the SWAC linemen, as we used to say back in the day, or even some of the MEAC linemen with the 18, 20% body fat. These dudes are cut now. You're starting to see the training program. And with the transfer portal, you're probably seeing some of the best athletes we've seen in HBCU football in a long time, physically. Now, can they gel and blend it in and become HBCU guys? Because you got to buy in. That's the part that everybody's trying to figure out right now. We've seen a team go out and recruit nothing but transfers, and that failed tremendously. And then we've seen those that have had that mesh. But on the field, I mean, you're seeing some dudes that, you know, we haven't really seen that many of them before.
Right. I mean, me and you talked about the Hall of Fame and the Black College Hall of Fame, man. Now they called your name. You signed the letter. Man, did they call you? How did somebody call you on the phone to let you know? Because I know you wanted it, Coach. I know you wanted it, but you rightfully so, you deserved it.
Well, so thank you. It was. I was disappointed. You know, a year ago.
Where were you? Go through. Where were you at? Were you at your house? Were you on the road?
So, I was. I was at America's Black College when it happened. So I was on my way to a basketball game at America's Black College. That is Howard University. So me and my son, we were going to see one of his high school teammates play at Howard. And as I was walking there, Shaq Harris kind of set me up. Shaq set me up and he said, "Hey, you know, we got some guys we're looking at talent-wise for the Legacy Bowl. You know, I need to get you in on a conference call, and you can tell us, you know, if you think these guys are worthy of playing the game." And I've kind of helped like that before. So I was like, okay. And so then Shaq said, "All right, well, you know, there's going to be guys on the phone, so you got to be ready." I said, "Well, I'll step out when you call." And he called. And then when he called, he said, "Hold on, we got to ask about one more player." And then he brought Coach Wilson in on the phone. And then Coach Wilson said, "Hey, Scott." I said, "Yeah, what's up, Coach? You know about these players?" He said, No, I know about you. Congratulations. You've been selected to make it to the Black College Football Hall of Fame. And my son was there. I'm on Howard's campus. And I just grabbed it. I said, "Son."
And you
Jewel,
cried.
my son's name was Jewel. I said, Jewel, what? I said, "I got in, man. I got in." He's like, "What? Huh?" I got into the Black College Football Hall of Fame. So being able to share that moment with my son at Howard is, that was special. I remember exactly where I was when it happened.
That was man. That's what it's about, Coach. That's what it's about, man. And I'm glad we had an opportunity to present you to our audience. And y'all gotta go ahead. Y'all got some questions. I know.
Yeah, I got some questions for both Jay and Tiffany, and y'all can answer the question in whatever order y'all want to. If y'all could have any other job than the face and voice of HBCU college football, what job would you guys want
In sports or out of sports?
in sports? In HBCU sports.
I would say it's once a year where I wish I was a college football coach, and it's only one time a year, and that's when the FCS selection show comes out and the HBCU team is getting ready to go into the playoffs. I wish I could be that coach of an HBCU coaching against a non-HBCU in the playoffs, where they think they're gonna come in and out-coach you and outsmart you. I wish I could be that guy to be like, okay, to be on the winning edge of that. That's the one time I ever wish I coached.
Now go ahead. I'm sorry, Tim.
Go ahead. I'm sorry.
No, I was going. Now you're on the inside. Now we got 3 teams that done that. We got the 78 Florida A&M team.
Yep. The one that won the national
98
championship.
and 99 Tennessee State team.
The only one. Just
They done that. Florida A&M for only one to ever win the FCA championship. And 98, 99 Tennessee State team up 21-1. Beat every white school that they predominantly white school that they played. So I just want to put that on you now that you on the inside.
Now, Coach, Coach, now I know that. Now you're coming at me, man. You know I know that. Now, what I'm not going to talk about is being the number 1 ranked team in the country and losing in the first round. That's the part that hurt me. But let's also give credit to FAMU too. That team they had, them Rack Boys. Them Rack Boys almost won a national championship. They made it to the semis, I believe it was. So that was the last most impressive run we see from HBCU. It's all love. Love the job you did at Tennessee State. I mentioned Charles Anthony earlier. I know how y'all were the number 1 team in the country, which brought a lot of pride to everybody. So we got some unfinished business. We agree. As HBCUs, we got some unfinished business.
Did well too. Division 2.
Winston-Salem, absolutely. Absolutely.
Yeah.
Go ahead, Tiff. You can go ahead and answer the question.
So I can.
She wants to be the head of the J school at Florida A&M. Does that count as a sports job?
That's not nice, Jay. I would want to be like an athletic director.
I see that, Tiff. I actually see that being a job that you could do really well at, for sure. Hey, let me ask you this, because I didn't get a chance to ask Coach Jay. Jay, you guys, now this is according to Wikipedia, so you guys have to correct me on this. You guys were 11-0 undefeated at Howard, and they seeded y'all against the defending national championship team in the first round.
Yes.
Is that true?
Yes, and that hurt. That hurt because all season long we have been playing, thinking if we get ranked in the top 8 in the country, we're gonna host a game. You bring anybody to DC at that time, on our turf or place at FedEx Field, we'd have got you. And when they announced that we made it, but we knew we were going to make it, but then they said, you're going to Marshall. Like, really? Well, where's the fairness and equity in that? And Marshall ended up going to the national championship. But, we went there, gave them a run for the money. One of the things was, tying them up 14-14 there. We still remember that like it was yesterday. But, that's the way the cookie crumbled back then. We didn't get a fair shake, but still can't take what we accomplished.
Wow.
But looking at they went all the way to the championships and ultimately lost in a very close game to Youngstown State. Do you still think you guys were one of the better teams in FCS, even though you guys were HBCU?
Yeah, if we played Marshall on 11 playing field, I think we beat them. We go up there, at Marshall, we're a throwing team. They just ran the ball. They had a crown that was about 3 feet. So I had small wide receivers and, Jimmy Cunningham and Gary Harrell, and you try to throw the ball to them out there on the hash. They look like little dots and ball sailing, and it was wet out there. We didn't get a holding call, came down mysteriously late. All those things there you take aside. I mean, we felt we had already beaten, 2 teams. We'd beaten 4 teams ranked in the top 20 that year, including Towson, who was in that, was ranked in the top 15. So we were a confident bunch, and, we could throw it with anybody. And we scared the daylights out of them. If they weren't playing us at home, then, we'd have made a historical run. I really believe that.
Wow. Jay, have you ever had in your vocabulary, my fault? You said you had them little bitty receivers. If you overthrew them, it was their fault.
Well, that's the thing about it. Hey, my little guys had hands. Gary the Flea Harrell and Jimmy the Jet Cunningham. Once you learn how to work it to them, you get them the ball. You give them a 5-yard out, they'll take it 20 yards on you. So I'm not going to complain about that. That was a give or take that we had. You try and come up play man-to-man coverage, I'm just licking my chops. So those are my guys there. We had enough blame to go around. We weren't a perfect squad, but we were damn good.
Well,
Hey, Jay.
who was your backup? You probably didn't even let him warm up. You took all the throws. Who was your backup at that time?
Oh, Pep
You don't even
Hamilton.
know.
I'm scared you're about to have him show up on the show next or whatever.
Pep Hamilton was the great offensive mind, Pep Hamilton?
Yes, he was. Pep Hamilton was my backup quarterback. Roommate on the road, one of my best friends in life.
Coaching then.
Yes, he does it for me. He does it for me. So he does it for me. I mean, you think about it. I mean, Pep was there with me, and then he also was real instrumental in guiding Ted White along. He was like a player coach his last years at Howard. So we do that on the chalkboard. Pep will carve me up. I mean, we go on the board. Coach, that is, get up there, draw it up. I mean, Pep gonna do that way back then.
Yeah, both of them, Rocky, are at Maryland now, University of Maryland.
Oh,
Yes, they are.
Okay. Okay. Hey, Jay, this is a question that the people ask, right? And Tiff, you can get in on this as well. What do y'all think the future of HBCU sports is in the transfer portal and the NIL era?
I've got a couple of thoughts, quick thoughts. I'll make them quick. Like I said earlier, I think the athlete we see on the field will be some of the best we've seen. I think that keeping those guys is going to be the hardest job ever. It's going to be rare you see a 4-year starter, be a 3-year All-American, guys like that. So I think that is in jeopardy. Do I think there's going to be a portion of it being a breeding ground? Yes, for the bigger schools, but do also see some guys that are going to transfer in and get to play football at a smaller stage and dominate. You may see some more dominating guys that could come out, which is what you need to do at our level if you want to play at the next level.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
I actually would say that I agree with Jay on that, and I may have to graciously exit the call right now. Jay, I'm letting you leave on. I'm leaving on a high note. This is good. I agree. Can you believe that? I said
Record this, please.
You. Okay, yeah. Gentlemen, it has been an absolute pleasure. Jay, congratulations, my man.
Thank you. Appreciate it. Safe travels on your vacation.
Thank you, Ms. Tiffany.
Thank you, Tiffany. Thank you so much.
Thank you so much, Tiffany. I appreciate it.
Jay, I had to ask you one question. They said, what was the hardest defense that you faced when you played the game?
South Carolina State. South Carolina State. I mean, they were when Coach Jay had them going, they were a team that they would sell out to hit the quarterback. And you know what I mean by sell out? Like they'll blow a coverage to hit me. And they would hit me. And, Lou Jones, Pop Lou, who was our equipment man, the second year I played South Carolina State, I'm ready for him now. First year, we went down to Orangeburg. They beat me up pretty bad. We lost by 10 points, worst loss I had. But the next year, I'm like, okay, they want to sell out. So I figured it out, Coach. I said, you know what? Going in the game against South Carolina State, I'm going to end up 12 for 33. But I'm going to go 12 for 33 with 350 yards. And I'm going to stand in there, and I'm going to hit them. So when they want to bring that sellout blitz for me, all right, you're going to get me, but I'm going to get you. And that's exactly what happened. And going into the game, I told our equipment guy, Pop Lou, I said, Pop, I need some rib pass for this game. I need rib pass because I know what they're going to do. You know what he told me? I ain't got none, homeboy. I'm like, what? So sure enough, first quarter, they get me. Bam. 2 outside blitzes, outside linebackers. They meet at the quarterback. Bam. I get hit. Next pass, I try to drop back and throw. And as I'm trying to throw, my ribs just yank at me. And then I try to throw again. They yank at me. Missed 2 passes in a row. Coach Springs, rest in peace, Ron Springs. He goes over to Pep Hamilton. Hey, Pep, you may have to get ready for this game right here. I don't think Jay gonna make it. You know what Pep says? Oh, no. I'll talk to Jay. He's just not setting his feet. I'll get him right. He just not setting his feet. And I'm like, man, Pep, no, they got me. Then at halftime, I go in there, close game, and here come my equipment man, Pop. He say, hey, Jay, man, put these on. He give me rib pads. I asked for rib pads before the game. You give them to me at halftime. And, the rest is history. I figured it out and bombed on Betty. But that defense they had there, they were going to hit you good.
Yeah.
Hey, Jay, let me ask you another question, a football question.
Yep.
Me and Mr. Campbell, we were having a conversation last night, and we were trying to figure this out. After Willie Totten was drafted, I believe, by Buffalo in 85, 86, were you the next quarterback from the SWAC to be drafted? Was there anybody drafted in between you guys?
Yes.
In HBCU football?
Yeah, Clemente Gordon from Grambling. He had a shot, I believe, with the San Diego Chargers, maybe, but he was a late round pick. Clemente Gordon was. That's the one that comes to mind. I know I'm missing one, but it seemed like I've been the last out the MEAC, and I know
they questioned a guy by the name of 747.
Joe Walton.
I don't know if he was drafted.
He was before me. Yeah, he was before me.
He was before you. Okay.
Yeah, 747 Joe Walton. Yeah, and I mean, those guys can throw. I mean, he could throw. Played in the USFL, I believe, for a while, the Showboat. So he had a little run there too.
The reason why I asked, I consider you, Steve McNair, all pioneers in this regard. When we were little kids, we didn't see many black quarterbacks, if any, in the NFL. I think you had a guy out of USC, Vince Evans, that played for the Bears sparingly. We saw Randall Cunningham be given a shot. Then Warren Moon came in and had some success. But did you have the dream of potentially being an NFL quarterback? Because a lot of guys who were great athletes back then that played quarterback, they were convinced to switch positions if they wanted a career at the next level.
Yeah.
Were you ever offered the ability to change positions to get a shot at the next level?
No, it was hey, maybe they didn't think I was a good enough athlete as those guys you just mentioned, but no. My goal was always to be a quarterback. Growing up in LA, segregation, racism not as in your face as it is down south and maybe back east. So growing up in LA, where I seen Warren Moon, he went to a rival high school of mine. Vince Evans right there up the street at USC. It was hard out of college getting schools to agree for a black quarterback. I mean, I had UCLA right down the street from my house, and I couldn't even take a visit, unofficial. They told me I couldn't even take an unofficial visit there. But I always had that in my heart that I wanted to play quarterback. That was the position I played. A couple schools told me I could play linebacker, but I never played defense in high school. So I didn't have me play linebacker. And, my dad was steadfast. I've known Shaq Harris since I was born. So that was a benefit I've had. James Shaq Harris used to have me working out with junior college wide receivers.
You're not kin to him, are you, Coach?
Well, that's my godfather. Yeah. Okay. So that's my godfather.
Not blood kin, but
not blood kin, but that's my godfather.
Right. I got you.
And my dad, Louisiana boys, and he actually played, in college with my first cousin. So I always had those guys in front of me that said, you can play quarterback, and told me what I would have to do. It was always in front of me. It was, Shaq told me you got to dominate at this level, and you got to do that. When I played in the NFL, I was the sixth black quarterback. There were only 6 black quarterbacks in the league when I came in as a rookie.
Yeah. So Jay, you from California? Did your people move out of there? Are they from Mississippi? Or most people from California from Mississippi? How you get so black?
Louisiana, Texas.
Louisiana, Texas. My daddy's from Colfax, Louisiana. He was from Colfax, Louisiana. Got a lot of family in Monroe. So I say most of my folks are Grambling folks, So I got some relatives that went to Grambling. So and then my dad went out there. He left Louisiana when he was 16. Because my grandmother said you will die out here. And he went out west. And never went back. Never went back.
Jay, we have a super chat here from Johnny Thornton, and he says, Jay, I'm an NCCU alum, 1978. I carried the ball a few times in Green Stadium. Please don't hype up Howard versus NCCU as a rivalry or teams. I think he's trying to get some attention.
Thank you, Jay. Thank you.
It's a new rivalry. It's new. I mean, we lost some of the ones we used to rival with. When I was there, it was A&T and Florida A&M were the ones where our rivalry games in South Carolina State. But when you lose those, you got new rivalries. And the past 2 years, that game has meant something. The Central versus Howard game has meant something in the new MEAC.
It's meant 50.
Oh, that number gets it started right there. That number gets it started.
Y'all traded 50 burgers, didn't y'all, Jay?
Yes, they did. Yes, they did.
Jay, I wanna start at Give Me 5 because you have had a unique ability to see errors. So one of the things we got, as you know, there's a lot of younger people. Dion brought a lot of younger people in. You know what I mean? That were interested. So I'm going to do a couple of give me fives. Give me the 5 best players that you played against when you played.
5 best players I played against. John Theory from Alcorn State.
Drafted by the Bears.
What was that?
Drafted by the Bears.
Yes, drafted by the Bears. Joe Mumford from South Carolina State. Oh man, who played? I want to say Matthew Steeple from Morgan State went on to have a great career in semi-pro football, indoor football. You got me thinking. You got me, and I'm missing folks, and I'm gonna hear about it.
Did you play against McNair?
Yep, Steve McNair. I was thinking defense. Steve McNair, obviously. Terry Mickens, the wide receiver from Florida A&M, was real good. Marcus Hinton, the 6'6" wide receiver turned tight end that played for McNair at Alcorn State, was he probably the other guy to round out that list.
All right. Now let me ask you the next give me 5. Well, one of the things that you've been able to see is now you've seen the newer generation. Give me 5, or just overall. So we'll just say the 20th century and the 21st century as the cut line. Give me 5 of the greatest players from the 20th century, the Jerry Rice and that. But now the new guys that you've watched, that a lot of guys, because they have not made the NFL, but they're great players. So give me 5 of the old school and 5 of the new school.
All right, let me start with these newer guys. I'm gonna tell you the guys I've covered that I've seen. Yeah. And I've got a little run in it now. Bruce Eugene, Grambling State University. I mean, the way he dominated through the SWAC, he made it look easy. The most electrifying player, and he's got the all-time great, Tariq Cohen, the running back from North Carolina A&T. I think there's no debate. Those two will probably be the most dominant that I've seen. I saw Tavares Jackson when he was at Alabama State, the job that he did. Another guy that doesn't get his due and scratching my head, and I'm sure y'all know about a guy by the name of Robert Kent, quarterback, Jackson State. Superman could really do it. You know, what happened to him his senior year, I think, is a travesty, and that was tough for me to watch. And then I'm going to say those Rack boys. I mean, those Rack boys. That wide receiver crew at Florida A&M, Kanan Lamb, Jaquay Numley, forget the other guy's name. They would, you couldn't go to sleep at night. Those guys were going to do it. So I would say in that modern era, those would be the ones I would put Ted Sweet Flight White, Howard University, the way he dominated as well. You couldn't sleep at night there. So I would say those would be my new generation guys, I think, that are HBCU legends. Let me put one more in there, too, different position. Teron Armstead. The University of Arkansas Pine Bluff, he was a grown man back then.
What about Sean Wallace?
Sean Wallace was a man. Sean Wallace was dirty, nasty, gritty. He was a honey badger. He was a honey badger.
Very smart football.
Yes, he was a honey badger down there at Southern University. Yes, he was.
Let me ask you this, Jay.
Wait, Rocket. Let me ask you.
You got another?
No, I want him to finish about. What about your 5 old school all-time players?
Oh man, you're not gonna get me in trouble. I'm gonna see all these dudes. They're gonna go looking to fight me. They're gonna go looking to fight me. No. Nope.
You can always start with Walter Payton, right?
I'm gonna take the easy way out there. I'm gonna say James Harris, Shaq Harris. I'm gonna say Doug Williams. I'm gonna say Steve McNair. I'm gonna say Willie Cotton. I'm gonna say Pernell Dickinson. And I'm gonna keep it all quarterbacks. Them dudes gonna fight me. They're my brother.
All them gonna be there.
They all quarterbacks. Yeah, that's all right.
Hey, Jay, it's funny that you mentioned that because my line of question was gonna be about HBCU quarterbacks. I come from watching Power 5 and Group of 5 football, right?
Yep.
And the quarterback position has always been highlighted at any level, right? For some reason, the last 5 years since I've been watching HBCU football pretty much exclusively, it seems like so many teams have struggled at the quarterback position. What are you and you have been, and I'll say this, in your broadcast, you often are really fair and honest with the quarterbacks. You often hint to development as being the primary issue and the patience with the quarterbacks being the primary issue. But can you just give us a longer answer about what do you think the issue is with quarterback at the HBCU level?
I think a lot of times we don't allow kids to play through adversity. It's such a win now culture throughout. I mean, you know, if a guy's not doing it for you, you got your job on the line, you're going to bench him and go with the next guy. I don't see that. I mean, it's ironic. I'm going to the Black College Football Hall of Fame in Atlanta, but my first game in Atlanta, I lost. I lost 7-0, right? And imagine if Coach Wilson didn't stick with me to say, you know what, I didn't score a point against Morehouse. It'd have been easy to bench me and move on, right? But he believed in me and said, you got to show something, or else we both going to be out here looking for jobs. And you don't see that nowadays. It's a win now. Guy has a bad game, okay, you may give him 2 games, but we don't see the kids get an opportunity to grow through adversity, to learn, to prove that they've gotten better. The same throw I made as a senior, I made that throw as a sophomore, but it was bad decision making. So I like to see them kind of grow through a guy. I like battle-tested guys. And it's so hard to get a guy that the coach believes in that's battle-tested that can do it. And you can't blame the coaches because they got to win. And if a guy's going to hold your team back, you got to move on. But I think that's part of it. And, you know, and sometimes it's just, you know, the running has come back into the game. You know, running is a big part of the offense. It's almost like cheat code. You know, if you tell a kid, hey, I just need you to get a first down. I don't care how you get it. Well, playing quarterback is still about how many passes you complete. But if a guy can get away with just running for it, oh, okay, I can just run for it, coach. That may cover up some of his flaws. And when it comes time for him to make a throw in the pocket, well, were you part of the problem as a coach? Were you telling him, hey, just run for it, just get it, we'll get it next play, right? Or do you believe in him 3rd and 7, he can pick you apart from the pocket and run if he absolutely has to?
Coach, and I also want to say this. You did a game. I watched a recording because I was at the OBC last year where you did North Carolina State and Alabama. No, North Carolina, NCCU and Alabama State.
Yeah.
And I thought, you know, I watched it after the game. I thought you did a great job of your analysis on that game. You know, there was a rain or whatever, but how you handled the situation with Andrew Body and how that kind of played out in that game. I thought you were courageous and being brutally honest about what you thought was going on in that game and how ultimately they had a quarterback. They just needed to be patient with him. And you said that right there on the air. And so I like to see those kind of things, especially when you see a guy that you believe is a player and he's just being, you know, jerked back and forth. And we've had Coach Robinson on the show, so it's no shade or anything, but it's just that you saw the same thing I saw that night live.
It should give Body a chance. He was a guy. He was a guy that could move the crowd, move the offense, and hurt you in so many ways. And, you know, that's where I try to draw the line. I mean, as coaches, you know, you're sensitive to them. They know the players a whole lot better than I do. I come in and just try and learn as much as I can week to week and watch their progression. And, you know, I don't try to question them, but it's my job to, as an outsider, to say, this is what I'm seeing. And this is, you know, I get paid by ESPN to call it like I see it. And that's what I do.
Jay, let me ask you a question. We're getting ready to go into a new season, and you've seen so many teams. You've seen, you know, you get to watch all the players, know the coach. Who are in the MEAC your top team, in the SWAC your top team, and who are going to be your surprise teams? Just as they say, a little bit too early. But who do you think will be your surprise teams, and who will be your favorites in both conferences?
Surprise team in the MEAC will be Morgan State. They got a defense that can defend all the time, and defense wins you championships. Offensively, they've struggled tremendously, but they got a defense that's good enough. I mean, every year since Damon Wilson's been there, they beat a non-conference team from the CAA. So they're close. They're knocking on the door. In the SWAC, it's curious. I'm hearing a lot of buzz, but I got to see how it plays out. I'm hearing a lot of buzz about Texas Southern, and you know, and Chris and Dishman, the job he's doing. But
wow,
it's hard to get in there to find out because, you know, they had a couple wins, and that would be a team I think could sneak up on people, and I think they could potentially sneak up on some folks. So curious about that one. But the big question for me in the SWAC is, I'm still wondering, like, when is Alcorn going to show up? You know, when they move from the East to the West, everybody said, oh, the West is going to be the one now. But Alcorn has not made a run in the West yet. Right. You know, when are they going to make that run in the West?
Yeah.
Now it's funny that you said that, Jay, because we have a lot of people in our sphere that Prairie View, they're out making HBCU National Championship t-shirts already. So the fact that you were saying that Texas Southern is going to be a surprise team compared to what the hype that they thought, and, Coach Jackson was a friend of the show, and again, great coach. But I find that very interesting because of what you said, because Texas Southern has done it on the field. You can see them building. You can see something kind of growing there. Now, what about your favorites when you're looking at the MEAC and the SWAC?
Well, Central, Central and South Carolina State are the ones there. South Carolina State, they came in and just blew everybody away. Can they do it again now that some of those players and some of those transfers are gone? So people kind of know your offensive game plan. I just think, North Carolina Central just keeps a quality product on the field all the time. So I would say those would be the ones that I talked about. Morgan State as well. The team to beat is still Jackson State. Jackson State, the offseason, I think they won offseason recruiting. They love TC Taylor down there. They don't have all the turmoil that their closest competitor in Florida A&M has had to go through. So I think, Jackson State is probably, the cream of the crop. They're the team you have to knock off. And then for the past couple of years, it's been the Wild Wild West. The Wild Wild West, Grambling, Southern, who's it going to be? Prairie View's been up in that mix as well. So, those are the same three. But the West is still wild. And the East, Jackson State is still the king.
Yeah. Well, Coach, man, we don't have you for over an hour. I know you told me that you got to catch a flight tomorrow, right?
Absolutely, going to Atlanta. And I got to tease you. Did you say earlier you're in Texas now and you're going to do Juneteenth in California?
In San Diego.
That's California. Juneteenth was like invented down here in Texas.
Yeah.
And you're going to leave the best Juneteenth celebration to go out to, all right.
My college roommate, man, and he's doing a big spiel out in California. So
you're supposed to invite him to Texas for Juneteenth.
Hey, Jay, last thing before you go, because this blew up the internet last night. I don't know if you were up, but late last night, in anticipating on you coming on the show, there were people that I just didn't believe it, Jay. I just couldn't believe it. I didn't think it was true or whatever. They say, you know how they are. They say you have some deep-seated hate for Jackson State. Like it's almost like you come on the air to pick on those guys from their perspective. Where is that coming from, Jay? Because I don't get it. I don't hear that with my ears. And have you heard that before?
I've heard it from every school in the country.
Okay.
I've heard it from every school. Florida A&M thinks I got something against them. Southern thinks I got something against them. JSU thinks I got something against them. Howard University thinks I got something against them. I've heard it from everywhere I go. I just say my job is to call like I see it. As many times I say "thee I love," it don't matter. It don't matter. You say something wrong against somebody's team, and I'll take that. Have an opinion on it. They got an opinion on me. You can't win them all over. But it's funny. I got good relationships with all those people in those places there, and a lot of respect for them as well. A lot of respect for them.
And let me ask you, last question for sure this time. Which one of your top fives causes the biggest controversy? Top five, give me 5 homecomings or give me 5 bands?
Bands by far. But homecomings is growing. And then, if I really want to get them going, I talk about the best fan bases out there as well, too. Because, I got some opinions on who the best fan bases are. And so I got some interesting topics we're going to talk about. We're going to talk about who's got the craziest fan base. I like the toughest road trips out there. I like the easiest road trips out there. Some of them are easier than others. So we like to mix it up. But those bands, I would say bands kind of launched, give me 5. What I saw and just going around the country and seeing it. And I was like, I just wanted to give credit to some of those bands I thought had highlight years. And it just took on its own thing. And now you got band of the year competitions for real, where they're giving out money and stuff like that. So I would say that. But homecomings are up there. Yeah. Everybody just keep telling me I'm biased. Everybody keeps telling me I'm biased. And my thing is, I'm not biased because I've seen all these homecomings, right? And if you've seen them all, and I'm willing to say that there's nothing bigger than Howard Homecoming. There's nothing bigger. I've seen some other good ones. Some other ones are cute. They're cute. G-Ho has a great name. Greatest homecoming on earth. Is it? No. It's not the greatest homecoming on earth, but it's got the best name. It's got the best name. And
Well,
they say, look,
I'm getting around, Jay, and I did Southern and I did Prairie View. And if it gets any better than those two, Jay, if I go to Howard and it's better than those two, I don't know what I'm going to do.
Man, you ain't even seen the Sunny Boom, man.
hey, go check out Howard for all the star power. Make sure you got your phone out because we're going to have all the star power that you want. I mean,
I'm going to let you know. I just got a text and say Diddy won't make this one next year.
I got to go now. Y'all getting low now, man. I got to go now. Man, oh, man.
Hey,
all right. Rock, what's your school, Rock? At least Campbell's going to declare where he's from. What's your school, Rock?
Hey, Coach, I went to a small school in Texas. That's all I'm gonna divulge, Coach. We don't have a football team, basketball
he ain't
team.
no HBCU guy, man. He ain't no HBCU guy, Coach.
Okay, I got you.
Hey, Jay,
watch yourself. Hey, watch yourself.
Jay, I got one thing though now, because my people from FAMU wanted me to know, could I call you by your government name, Jules Jacobia Walker, and how did you not go by that and you call yourself Jay? They want to know that because they say, hey, tell Jules Jacobia that when he come down to Tallahassee, we're gonna have to talk to him.
You know what that tells me? That tells me that FAMU has finally made the full adjustment into being a SWAC school. Y'all had some class when you was in the MEAC, now y'all SWAC, and y'all doing down and dirty like they do in the SWAC. What they call it? Rough in the SWAC. But my son is Jewel. He likes Jewel. He goes by Jewel. I was JJ growing up, and then JJ became a little too silly, and I went from JJ to J in high school. Didn't really like Jewel, and so now didn't like it so much. I named my son.
Because you don't put it in the air.
Yeah,
you earned that name.
Rowan, I earned Skywalker. Yeah, I threw 6 touchdowns in my first game at Howard at home. So
we want to be part of your top 5 HBCU podcast. Put that in your pocket.
Man, you was there until Rock messed with me, then Campbell messed with me the last 2 questions, man.
Hey, I'm gonna make it up to you, Jay. Somebody told me that you're a cigar guy, Jay. I am too. Make sure you text Coach Cole your list, and I'll get them to you, Coach. No doubt.
We're gonna do that. That Padron anniversary series coming your way.
10th anniversary or 20th?
64 anniversary. 26 is the best. 26 is the best, but
you said Padron. My bad. I thought you said Perdomo. You said Padron. No. Oh, okay.
Excuse me. I went to Howard. I went to Howard.
My bad,
okay?
sir.
Yeah, I went to Howard. Talk about some Perdomo to a Howard guy.
Will it be straight cut or V cut, sir?
Depends on which one it is. Depends on if it's torpedo.
Got you for sure. I look forward to meeting you someday, Jay. No
same
doubt.
here. Same here. We'll fire up a cigar together. JC did it for you, man. Appreciate you.
Thank you, man. Thank you.
Thank you, Jay.
Hang in there, Rattler.
Okay.
Absolutely.
Take care. Wow. Okay, man.
Oh, that was awesome, Coach. That was absolutely. Hold on, let me get y'all back on here. All right, got you, man. That was absolutely awesome, Coach.
Yeah,
that was incredible. Jay was a sensational guest.
You pulled one, baby. You pulled one, baby. Look. You gained all your feathers back, baby.
Well, listen. I got. Hey, man. Shout out to Beta Alpha Kappa Alpha down there. Those my girls. And one of my girls said, "That's my girl. I can make it happen." That's what they came through for me. So those are my girls. They took good care of us.
Does any of those ladies have a thick in their moniker?
Well, no. This one, she's a little troublemaker. Her moniker. She called little troublemaker.
Oh, okay.
Little troublemaker. She knows who she is. So
that was good, man. And to be able to get Coach Wilson in, man, and of course, Jay is the face of HBCU. Him and Tiffany. Matter of fact, we can't get no more bigger, Coach. We don't got all the coaches. Now we don't got the black college journalists. Shit, I don't know what's next. So maybe presidents. Maybe we need to look at some presidents to see if they would come on and kind of talk about black college football. I mean, black colleges, period.
Hey, we got to get some presidents hired in some places. So
I know. we almost got like 20 positions.
Well, let me say this here. Campbell, can you give us an update on what's going on at FAMU? Because
yeah, I can. Well, I can, and I will say this. Hey, man, let me say this, how bad it is in Florida. The University of Florida was bringing in one of the top presidents in the nation from the University of Michigan. And because he had a DEI background, they voted him down. And this man has gotten Michigan as one of the top schools in the nation, one of the biggest fundraisers in the country. And because of the backwardness of DeSantis, they wouldn't even let this man be the president of Florida. So what do you think that's going to mean with Florida A&M University? So we have a person that is not qualified. We have a person that does not believe in the values of Florida A&M, and the Rattlers are going to strike, and they're going to make it very difficult and make it very well known.
Did that 750 get voted on?
Well, so what has happened is they voted on the range. Our foundation. So in the state of Florida, is very weird. The state only gives you $200,000 to the presidency. Everything else has to come from the school, a la fundraising.
Oh man!
Foundation. So our foundation is separate, and they're like, "Hey, we're not about to give nobody no $250,000 raise after our president has led us to be the 6-time #1 HBCU." You know what I mean? And you talking about giving you $200,000 more? So that's just insane. That is just
so
insane.
y'all,
They
so
talking about paying her $750,000.
And what, Coach? Let me give you one better, and give her a lifetime job at our law school, and be the highest paid professor, and she's never taught a class.
Wow.
Oh, but y'all have the purse strings on what her salary is going to be.
Well, that's going to be the fight. That's where the fight is going to be at. So I'm very proud of a lot of the alumni. I'm very proud of the students. And again, everybody, they're not acting ugly. They're not doing things that are disrespectful, but they're speaking their voice. So they're not going to be silent.
So is she hired or not?
Well, yes, technically she is. Well, technically when she meets through the board of governors who denied the University of Florida, she will be. So I think that's in the next week.
And the only thing she's guaranteed at this point is that $200,000 that the state is paying.
Technically, yes.
Wow.
Yeah.
Wow, Coach. Wow. Man, Coach, you know, man, looking back, man, since we've been doing this show, boy, I know we talk about Florida A&M, boy. Right now, I wouldn't be giving them a badge of honor, boy, because y'all been going through it, boy.
Well, Coach, let me tell you something. And this guy, Coach, you understand this, and Rock, I want you to understand this. Jake can understand this. Our HBCUs have been around for 100 plus years. We've seen a whole lot worse from a whole lot better. So it's about being resilient. So we went through things before. You guys said, man, we went through segregation and we made it through.
Don't we got some news, Rocky? Some really kind
of yeah, we got some
bad news.
Yeah. I actually closed that when we were talking, but I can bring it up, Coach. Yeah, and unfortunately, it's one of our beloved HBCUs, and I'll bring it. I'll bring the breaking news.
Hopefully, I'm praying that this blow over, or it's not true. Well,
but Coach, at the same time as you say, you hope it blows over, Coach, but you also want justice to prevail as well. Because
you hadn't heard about it, Bishop.
Yeah, well, go ahead and set it up, Rocky. You getting ready to set it up? Go ahead.
Yeah. Let me. I'm looking for.
Well, while you're doing that, Rocky, I guess I'll talk a little bit. So, once again, we're having an issue where there is been some allegations against the Texas Southern athletic director. Right. And one of those things that, again, as we're in these situations now, and what you hope, and again, and I'm saying this on both sides, what you hope is not what you hear, as they say. You hope that's not what you hear, because we want to represent our universities. If you work for our university, we want you to represent them the best way. And so now this is an issue, but I think Texas Southern did make a very strong statement that they would do their due diligence and doing the research.
I'll play this right quick, guys.
Wow.
As soon as this ad finished playing.
Oh, it don't have.
No, the ad is not. There you go.
Gotta turn it up. You got to turn it up.
Can you hear it?
No, we can't hear you. And Calvin, I'm gonna co-sign that. That don't put yourself in a position. My brother, that is the one thing I have learned, and I will tell people this. I have worked around a lot of women, a lot of young ladies, but always, no matter the situation, always put yourself in a respectful situation. Then you never have to worry about those things. So Calvin Liddell, I totally agree with you. Good, bad, or indifferent. And that's the one thing I've prided myself on when I've worked around women and young ladies and stuff like that. It's conducting myself.
Hey, Cameron, can you share that? Can you bring it up and share it?
Yeah, let's see.
You seem to get your audio played. Hold on, let me.
Okay. All right, hold on. Let me share. Share. All right. Did that come up?
Yeah.
Okay, let me.
Athletic director is now facing allegations of sexual
hear it?
assault.
Yeah.
Tony Busby's law firm sent a statement to KHOU 11 saying that a TSU staff member is accusing Kevin Granger of asking vulgar and graphic questions and touching her inappropriately. The statement also says the staff member reported the alleged assault to Houston police and the university's human resources department. KHOU 11 reached out to TSU, who sent us a statement reading in part, as of today, Texas Southern University is aware of allegations involving a senior member of our leadership team. The university does not comment, though, on pending litigation.
Wow. I hate that from my alma mater, boy. You know, you don't like to stay in the news, you know what I'm saying? And you know, like you said earlier, it's two sides to it. I'm pretty sure they'll get down to it. But I guess my question is so where does Kevin go? Does he's leave with pay? Do it have to go through all the way through the court situation, or do the what am I saying? When the judge make the decision whether it's going to the court?
Well, this is what I say. The school has the privilege of looking at the evidence and making a personnel decision. They don't have to wait on a legal determination of whether or not an assault occurred. Because when you say, Mr. Campbell, that there are things that are alleged that even if it's not criminal, may be certainly
absolutely. It's two things. You have an HR issue, which that's where it starts right off the rip. Then this young lady would then, if there is a criminal issue, that's when the police will look into it. But to the point where, and again, HR handbooks are much more broad. I mean, he could have called out her name, and that's enough for him to be fired. Or if he made her feel uncomfortable, use a power dynamic, that can make him be fired. Now, the thing in which and I'm saying this because I don't want anybody to be assaulted. What I'm praying is that it's not a criminal action, that he did something that will cause a criminal sanction, because that means he's really invaded her space. That means he's really violated her, and we don't want that at all. So what I will say that, again, the disrespectful part, if that is, then you got to know better. And that's, so Coach, to answer your question, the first thing probably, she reported HR, and then they're going to be probably an investigation where if there is an action that is criminal, then that takes place too. So it's twofold.
And so what happens if it's just his word against her word? I guess those two is just the only two in the room.
Well, Coach, here's the situation. His word against hers always is going to lean on under what circumstances or situation did it occur, right?
Was the door locked and all that? Kind of stuff?
Yeah. Like that's going to factor into, because you gotta, you guys have been managers and CEOs. You guys always understand that you guys have to be in cover your ass mode all the time.
I call it three. You got three people in there in any meeting. You know what I mean? Call three. You got to have three people in there. You got to be, and make sure if you meet with a female that you have somebody in there. Like Cameron was saying earlier, you got to be real careful about that. Real careful about it.
Now, in these situations, I'm just gonna say this, and this is merely speculation. What usually, in my opinion, determines the outcome of these situations from an HR standpoint is what was the nature of their relationship outside of work. Like that's gonna determine Mr. Granger's fate on the job. You know what I mean? Is what was it, if they had it, did they have a relationship off work? And if they did, what was it? And a lot of times those relationships are going to be considered inappropriate, wouldn't you say, Mr. Campbell?
Absolutely, because it's a power dynamic. And again, in most HR handbooks, if she's any line in that chain, you know, that's going to be no. You can't do that.
And he's married.
Oh, well, see, that's a whole nother headache. And I'm literally.
Yeah.
So see, you know, again, this is what's disappointing. We know the mission of what we're supposed to do at the university, and what anybody, but you got to understand when you're sitting in that seat, and that is a very prominent seat, coach. You know, athletic director. That's one of 12 in the SWAC. So that means, and I always think about this: if I'm one of 12, that means 100 people are watching me, good, bad, and different. So I'm never going to put myself in a position to fail because I'm one of the 12. I'm one of 100. I'm one of 10, and that's just me. Because so to Coach's point, if there is something where you feel that is being miscommunicated, hey, like you said, let's get somebody else in here, because if there's a discussion, an argument, things like that. So you know that's just, you know, again, it's just disappointing. And again, I don't want to speculate.
She was a single woman, and then number two, of course, all this is allegations. We just reading what they said, that he asked her, was she recording him? And according to the documentation, she never said yes or no. She didn't say anything. So here's my question. Let's just say she was recording him. Is it permissible?
Well, that depends on Texas. Each state has a different law.
I'm not familiar with the law, but yeah. I know if she got a recording, it's admissible at HR.
Yeah, thank you. And I'll tell you this too, but here's my problem with that question. I'm never worried about you recording me because I ain't gonna do nothing for you to be worried about it. It's gonna be just like we have here. See, that's my thing about that. I'm not. What are you worried about being recorded? Because again, if you see right then and there, you shouldn't be doing anything. Hey man, record everything. Record it. Show it to everybody. Because one thing, what you're never gonna see is Steve Campbell said anything crazy. So I don't care about you recording it. So that makes me nervous about that. Before they even say, "Are you recording it?" You know what I mean?
Now, Shonda, I agree with you. They can't fire him without a thorough investigation. But based on those findings, they definitely can make a decision. You know, based on those findings.
That depends, Calvin. That's not true. That is a state by state thing, because I believe Georgia is just a one rule state.
It'll come down to whether he get paid. Let's just say
Mr. Campbell, it also determines in Texas, as far as recording, it's where you're recording. Is there any expectation of privacy where you're doing the recording? You may not. You don't need permission in some common areas. But if there's an expectation of privacy, then you may need the other person's permission. Go ahead, Mr.
I was just saying that, let's say it's not true. It's not true. But it's almost back to school up against the wall. You know, I'm saying he would have to have like some definite camera shit, like none of that didn't happen. You know what I'm saying? I think to be able to save it.
Now let's be fair to A.D. Granger, and I'm gonna say this: this is the same lawyer that filed this case. This woman has hired Tony Busby. This guy has filed cases all over the country against powerful men, alleging that they sexually assaulted women. Now, some of them we found to be substantiated, and in Deshaun Watson's case, those cases, a lot of those cases were settled. But in the most recent case regarding Jay-Z, it was found that case was an erroneous case. That was baseless and found not to be factual. So, you know, I want to be fair to A.D. Granger in this situation. I'm not assuming that he did anything wrong, but anytime these allegations are are filed against someone, if they're very serious, and when it's related to a job, on the job incident, it definitely puts his livelihood in jeopardy. And first and foremost, I would hope justice is served. But if in fact these things are not true, I hope somehow he can be made whole and his reputation can be restored in some way.
This one of those. You split down the middle. Of course, you don't want the lady that's doing these allegations. It's unfair if she was put in that situation. But then again, because when it came to me, it actually came to me at night. I got a call late night, about it. Of course, I'm a Texas Southern man, and I didn't know. And then I got a call early in the morning saying that it was true, about this person being escorted and having to be Granger. And me just talking about what I know about Kevin Granger is he just don't seem like that type of guy. I've been around him. He's always been kind of an off to himself type guy. And so this is also shocking to me as well.
Shonda, you're exactly right. That's why when I said the nature of their relationship is going to be put in question in this situation. And even if a sexual assault didn't occur, say a sexual assault didn't occur, but an inappropriate contact or inappropriate relationship occurred, he still could be fired if in fact he didn't commit a crime. That's the unfortunate situation here, is that he still can lose his job even if there was no crime taking place. Now, you guys may be able to speak to this. If it is determined that something inappropriate did occur, does a school share any liability in making her whole?
Well, she's going to sue the school. But let me tell you something. As a person that works with lawyers every day, let me tell you what the lawyers say. We're going to sue everybody's name on the front door and everybody's name on the back door. And we'll figure out who's going to pay. So they will start with the school, the president, his boss, all the way down to anybody they think. So that's just the way they do. I'm gonna be honest with you.
That's the second wave.
Yeah.
If she win the case, the school's just gonna write her a check.
Yeah, and they have insurance for that actually. So
they probably just gonna write her a check.
Yeah.
What is Shonda saying? Is there any other forms of communication or exchange between them? And she's right. We don't know at this time. Of course, I'm getting information by the hour. So
my question is, I mean, I don't know if that helps him. If you find out that there's some type of relationship that they have that's consensual, I don't know that helps him in his
it
situation.
It
so
doesn't.
Let me ask y'all this: if they settle out of court, what does that mean for Coach Granger?
Well, here's the thing.
Does he go back to work?
No, because I'm telling you, and my mother's worked for HR for 45 years. I'm gonna tell you right now, if there's some smoke, them folk now they will let him go in a heartbeat. Because if he's settled, because to Rocky's point, they're gonna do an investigation first. That's separate for anything like that. And if anything in that manual that he did, like he called her baby, called her sugar, wasn't talking to her, I'm telling you, they can terminate him without blinking, and they will. Because they're not going to.
And they'll just go on and pay him off, and that way he can't come back and sue them because we paid your contract.
Well, but he might be in breach. That's what I'm saying, Coach. If he's in breach, they don't owe him anything. If he's in breach of that handbook and HR and all that is listed, trust me, very detailed. And they feel that he's done anything to breach that in that handbook, they don't have to pay him anything. They'll just cut him.
Yeah, JT said it ain't gonna save his job.
No, not even close.
Yeah.
Because you got to understand something too, Coach, and you think about this too. When you're an athletic director, a teacher, you understand this. Your work, he is around women.
Yeah.
Women coaches, women athletes. If you can't have, and I'm just talking about from a PR standpoint, you can't have your athlete. Well, we think he's a creep. That's not going to work.
Right.
That's not good PR.
Right.
You can't recruit off that.
No, you can't. Right. And would you want to send your daughter? You just wouldn't feel comfortable. And like I said, I know I wouldn't. Like I say, no.
Yeah, I just in these situations, man, I just hate it for everybody involved. I hate it for the young lady. You know what I mean? And I hate it for A.D. Granger in that if in fact he's not guilty of these things, I don't know that a man's reputation can come back from this, Coach. You know, dealing, you know, I've never personally had to deal with a character assassination of any type. But Coach, you know, you can speak to this. You've never dealt with anything of this nature. But I think, to be fair to you, there have been things said about you that just weren't accurate and spread throughout HBCUs. How do you overcome that, Coach?
I'll be honest with you. You know, of course, you know, I went through this and I fought it. And then what happened was it was over. It was over. The newspaper get a hold to it a year later because I moved to another position, and then boom, here come an article. You know, and fortunate for me, you know, things were called back and said it didn't happen. And when that happened, when the parties involved said that this didn't happen, then that really threw things back into my lap as far as, look, I ain't going nowhere. I told, you know, I've stood on my truths, and that's how it is. But it was a lot of things said, you know, and a lot of allegations.
But Coach, can a man outrun the Google though?
No. That'll be there forever. It'll be there forever. And, you know, the thing about Mr. Granger, you know, he was an HISD guy and he's a Texas Southern guy. Those are two positions he's held. You know, with this out there, I don't know if he can settle, Coach Bishop. And everybody would go with that. You know, I think he might have to fight this tooth and nail all the way to the end.
And you know, Coach, it may be a situation where if they do let him go, he has to fight for his name and his reputation. You know?
Yeah. I don't think he have a choice. I don't think he have a choice. And I tell you guys, and I'm truthful, that I just couldn't believe that he would be tied up in something like this.
Shonda says this: in Texas, recording conversations is generally legal under the one party consent rule. This means that as long as at least one party to the conversation consents to being recorded, it's lawful to record.
Yeah, and that's most southern states.
and admissible in court. The more important deal.
And that's the only thing that hadn't came out. He supposedly allegations. He's supposed to ask, was he being recorded? And I guess he's feeling on her or trying to see or not. But here's the kicker. She never answered yes or no. Or at least he never said, she said no, you know, to be able to throw it out, you know. And if she did, and they got that recording with some of these things that were said, man, that's not good.
Well, Coach, you got to understand something. If somebody's recording, see, this goes back to like I tell people. Whenever you see somebody do something, 9 out of 10 times, that's not the first time they did it. And I'm not saying him, I'm just talking about in just general, right? So if I see somebody smoking weed, that's probably not the first time they smoked weed. That's the first time I saw them. So she probably said in her mind, whatever this behavior was that she was not agreeable to, she said, I'm going to record the sucker next time I walk in this room. And that's probably what it was. So it was a build-up. It wasn't that one time, because you don't think of one time and say, I'm going to record you, because you don't know anything's going to happen. Yeah. So this is usually a behavior that's probably going on. And like I said, again, speculating that's going on.
Coach, you said something. In all of it, you said something. This wasn't just the first time. It didn't sound like this was the first time. Door locked. Are you recording me? I can help you. Wow. You know, I don't know.
Yeah, so that's what I'm saying. Not the first thing. If I meet somebody, and again, I meet with a lot of beautiful, and I'm saying that just to people see, I sponsor a lot of beautiful young. I don't sit back and say, hey, you got a recording on me? Because I ain't about to say nothing crazy. So I'm not worried about it again. That's why I'm saying it again. when I hear that, it kind of triggers me because these are things that I think about all the time when I go into me. And I am in meetings. I don't have 3 people in because sometimes I just only have to meet with one person and I can't go find a third person. But as long as I'm on my behavior and I know what it is, and again, my reputation precedes me, and people know if somebody will say something about me, trust me, 99.9% of people say, Steve Campbell did not do that. I can guarantee you that. That's facts, because I'm not.
Yeah. Hey, but them 12 jury who don't know you is going to have to listen to them facts.
I got it.
Hey, you look, and I hope nobody else shows up. I hope no other females show up.
And then now, see, that's the thing with this being the situation, and with it being a money grab, you know, because she did sue in civil court. What do? You know, if more people begin to show up against AD Granger, I hope that's not the case. But you know, historically, you know, Tony Busby is a guy that goes after his targets ferociously.
Yeah.
Ferociously.
Yeah. I mean,
what did he say? Thick 36 has on a body wire.
And I will say that's because she wants to remember the experience. So ain't no problem. Ain't no problem. Record it because ain't nothing gonna be illegal.
Now, somebody saying that she has more. That's just the meat and potatoes of it. That she has some more to go along with that.
Yeah, man.
Yeah.
I hope. Hey, Coach Cole, I hope your AD man is, you know.
Yeah. Hey, Coach, I want before we get off, I do want to ask you. I do want to ask you a question, and this is kind of shifting the mood a little bit. There was okay. I'm gonna lighten the mood a little bit, okay? Because as a coach, and I want to shift something. My AD did something, and I saw this. Give me a second, and I want to play this. I want you to tell me how you would feel if you were a coach and you heard this, okay? Give me a second. Because as you got, Coach, you're aware that we're going to be playing Mississippi Valley in Atlanta, right?
Right. Yeah, I heard that.
Yeah, because it didn't work out last time when they played them at Bragg.
Well, you know what? So hold on. I want to play this. Where did I see that at?
Now, Coach, you lost to Tuskegee the year you won the championship, SWAC championship, Coach.
Yeah.
Did that put pressure on you, Coach?
Put pressure on me. We were 8-2 at the time. So Tuskegee is a traditional winning program. And I knew that going in. And you know, it was just a loss. It was just a loss.
So, Coach, I'm gonna play this video. And I want you to tell me if you were the coach of Mississippi Valley, how would you feel about this? Okay.
Yeah.
This is my AD Suggs. I found this because people were in such an uproar after this.
Schedule. We saw some people that have something that belonged to us. It's called a win. The good devils of Mississippi Valley. Well, guess what? They decided that they were coming to FAMU, Georgia, also known as Atlanta. And so on October 4th, we won't be in It'll Been a Mississippi, hot off the press. We will play Mississippi Valley State University in the Mercedes-Benz Stadium in Atlanta, Georgia. It's their home game. It was their choice. We were set to go out to It'll Been a, I don't know where we were going to stay, with Jackson, I guess. We were going to bring some people because we travel well. But as I told the guys on yesterday, I had to tip out of one of the sessions to hop on that call. And as I told them, I said, it's their game, but it's our stick. Now, y'all coming to our home. When y'all roll up in Mercedes-Benz, that's our house. And so...
So, Coach, Now, if you my friend, and you Coach Buckley, and everybody's, what would you think when you saw that, Coach?
Well, 9 times out of 10, I've been on the other side. Being the one that's gonna hand it to him. But woo, Coach.
That was strong, wasn't it, Coach?
That was strong, Coach. That was strong. That was strong.
Now, shouldn't y'all tiptoe into Atlanta, considering what happened last time y'all played?
Absolutely.
Those Delta Devils?
Hey, listen,
absolutely not.
Listen, man. Listen. A broke clock is right twice a day. So they got they won, and I tell people this all the time. Hey, man, sometimes God works in mysterious ways. I think we're in a much better position coaching wise. So I think we'll be ready to go. And again, I just thought that was fascinating because people would just lose their mind that she would say that. What did she say?
Can I say this though, Rocky? And you know this, Cowboy. That's swag. That's black college football.
Thank you, Coach.
Selling tickets.
Thank you,
Coach.
Coach.
We're all gonna go out and have a drink afterwards and laugh and joke. But that's swag. That's old school black college football, right?
Wait a minute, hold on. And no, fam, you ain't never lost a vet. Now, when he played at Prairie View, no, don't say Willie ain't no, sir. So don't be right with that false information. FAMU's only lost a vet one time in our history, and that's been that last year. So no, Willie, I don't know what he did at Prairie View. We talking about FAMU.
But that's black college football, Coach. That's what you do. You talk smack.
And thank you.
And definitely I'm gonna use it if I'm Coach Buckley, as a motivating tool. And if I'm Coach Cozy, I'm using it as a motivating tool.
Hey, what's the business decision here, Campbell?
Well, I'm okay. So I'm gonna say like ID. This is Valley's home game. And I'm pretty sure, and again, that's not going to be a well-traveled game. And Valley knows that. I went to me and Scotty, actually, last time we played it. Well, maybe not a year after that. Then we went back again. But again, they looked at it, and the promoter probably said, hey, listen, you guys are going to get about 1,000 people at that game, 2,000 max, right? We're going to pay you to come to Atlanta. They
Where
know
playing them at, Coach?
Huh?
Where they playing it?
They're playing in Mercedes-Benz Stadium, which is amazing to me.
Oh, no, Coach, y'all ain't gonna. No, y'all should have played them in Clark Stadium.
Well, listen, we like as my AD said, it's not our game. So the promoter
or Georgia State Stadium.
Well, they might, but see, Coach, they might have been booked, so that might have something to do with it during that time.
Yeah, Coach, they only need to open up one side. Ain't nobody coming to that game.
Well,
but it may be another game. Georgia State got a football team too.
Georgia State, all of them got games probably. So that's probably why they're having it in the dome.
Oh, so you can watch 2 games for one price.
No. No, Coach. Oh, you say that we should have a doubleheader in the stadium?
Yeah, Coach, ain't nobody coming to see no Valley.
Well, hey, Valley made a business decision, and I'm not mad at the business decision.
And they put it in the Mercedes-Benz Stadium.
And guess what? It'll be 30,000 Rattlers there, and it'll be 500 people from Valley. That's what'll happen.
Ain't no question, Coach. It ain't gonna be well attended.
Hey. And if Cozy fumbled that one, then what?
Well, that's not going.
He won't make it back to Tallahassee.
What we're not going to do is talk. No, listen, Coach Cozy. Listen, listen. He understands just like with Willie. He understands what it is. He know the mission. So he set up. He got them boys ready to go. So we ain't worried about that.
Hey, if T-Buck pulled the rug out from under him, Coach, what's gonna happen?
Man, Coach Cozy know better than that, man. He too good of a coach. Shit, that ain't even nothing we should talk about. No,
Edwin, they're getting paid. The promoters paying Valley to move the game. Valley just not moving. Valley didn't move the game, and promoter are paying them. So they're getting paid to move the game.
So do y'all get anything for it?
No, we just probably get our expenses to travel because it's not a classic. It's just a home game that's just being moved. That's Valley's game. So we'll probably get our expenses paid.
And that's a net positive for y'all.
Well, yeah, because what it is, you get to energize your fan base. That's in Atlanta, which is our second biggest market.
Y'all get to host some parties though.
Oh man, they already got that. See, that's the problem with these jokes. They already got the places booked. They already got the party lined up booked, man. And then the crazy thing about it, Rocky, we play Central, I think, before that, and I think Homecoming is right after that.
Well, let me say this. I can't give Coach Buckley the the benefit of the doubt because Mississippi Valley been losing for 80 years. And I don't see any different this year, at least for this year. You know, we had his offensive coordinator on the show. I liked him. He has a lot of great ideals. You know, I think his offense is going to take a couple years to get going. So I just don't see it. I don't see the people even more interested into that game for them coming. I hate to say it, but that's just how I see it. I could be wrong. What would be a good number, Campbell or Rocky, to attend that game? I'm thinking in Mercedes-Benz Stadium.
See, okay, this is my personal thing. And I don't know how the promoter, there's two parts of it. I don't know how the promoter's going to make money. I just don't. That Benz is very expensive. So I don't know how they're going to make money. Now, Valley's going to make money because you got to cut them a check for them to come. And I'm pretty sure their AD and coach said, you know what, we will move our game because they know what the number is. So just say,
well, this is what I think. So who owns the stadium? Does the city own it or does the Falcons own it?
No, the Falcons. Arthur Blank owns that stadium.
So Blank may be cutting them a sweet deal because it's HBCUs.
Well, let me tell you about that. Okay, so let me explain to you guys.
Because he doesn't have because you got to realize he doesn't have an NFL game that week.
I understand that, but let me tell you what the problem is. It's not there's two parts of the cost. I charge you a rental fee, but there's a fee just to run the dome. Okay.
Oh, yeah.
Okay. See, that's where the problem comes in at. So I might not charge you $1 million, but it might cost me $1 million just to cut the dome on. Yeah, and I'm not about to take no $1 million hit.
Concession stand, police officers.
See, that's what people don't understand. That's what a lot of people don't understand. When people say, "Oh, why don't you go play here, there, and there?"
Well, let me ask a promoter. Let me ask you this, Campbell. So you promoted events. What's the promoter's break-even number?
See, that's the thing. Again, I don't know enough because you guys understand. I'm pretty sure they're going to be playing for radio and TV to advertise, right? They got to bring the schools there to travel. Hell, our band alone costs $150,000 to move it.
I'm talking about how many people you think the promoter needs in that stadium just to break even?
I'm pretty sure the number got to be about between 25 to 30. At the Mercedes-Benz?
Well. Here's the deal, guys. When promoters throw games like that, they already getting sponsorship. All right,
Coach, he just pulled the game. Where you gonna get the sponsors from?
Well, they to be able to help broadcast the game, they're gonna get sponsors for throwing the game.
The SWAC own the broadcasting rights.
Yeah, because that's what I'm saying.
There ain't no promoter gonna come out and just use his straight cash and not have sponsorship around to help fray the cost.
Well, Coach, why do you think all these classics are not around? Because they do that and they don't make money. There's a reason why the Gateway Classic ain't here. That's the reason why the Circle City went away. I can go on and on the class that people had and they did not make money. Hey, look, why your boy shut down? If that was the case, your boy would have the Southern Heritage Classic just every year, no matter who was there. He can't do that because if they know people don't come, they're not making money.
Well, I think some of it here lately in the last 20 years is because they've taken pauses in all of them. I played in the Circle City Classic, off the chain. I played in the Southern Heritage Classic, off the chain. I played in the Tuskegee Classic, off the chain. Labor Day Classic has always just been even keel. Of course, y'all know we go to the Grambling Prairie View game, off the chain. When people start getting involved and everybody's hands start getting out, they lost the significance of the game. And like Al Walsh told us, it ain't about the two teams. It's about what was going on around the game. You know what I'm saying? In the sponsorship. So I think that's why I feel that way.
You think the city of Atlanta has some type of grant? They're paying?
Well, you got the sportsman council there, like in every
sports commission
in every state or every city, just about major city. So I think they will get a draw, but I just don't see them getting 30, Coach. I might see them getting, I'll be honest, I'll be honest. Who Valley played before they? What game is it?
I don't know.
It's the fifth game. It's either the fourth or fifth game of the season.
What they got to come in there with some wins. If they come in there 0-4, coach, Valley come in there 0-4. You think all y'all folks gonna show up?
Well, I'm saying the FAMU people gonna come. It doesn't matter if that we playing Valley. It's in Atlanta.
Yeah.
So that I'm gonna be honest with you. See, that's the funny thing about it. For the FAMU people, it doesn't matter who we're playing.
Okay, answer me this, coach. You can answer me this. You think 35 don't show up at Atlanta, and only 10 showed up at the Orange Blossom City Classic?
Well, no, I didn't say 35 will show up. I said he needs 35. I said he needs 30 to make money.
Right,
I don't think they're going to get. I don't think they're going to get that many. I think all they're going to get now. The attendance? I think it'll be 20-something thousand, and that'll be 20,000 FAMU folks.
Right.
Yeah,
right.
they're not going to get 30. They would be amazing. But again, and I told everybody, and that's what I told the guys from Central, and I told the guys at Alabama State, y'all guys are not traveling like that. Y'all not going all the way down to Miami and putting people in there.
Build it up first. You know, you got to build those classics up. And
it's not a classic. They're not going to have it next year.
Wait. Let me tell you. Let me tell you something, Adrian. Either please stay out of grown folks' business. Ain't gonna be no 5K in Atlanta. Now Southern might come and break 5K, but FAMU, no man, FAMU plays in Atlanta. There ain't gonna be no 5. Hell, I got 5,000 friends that's gonna come by myself. That's gonna be in Atlanta. It's 5,000 people in Atlanta that live here from FAMU alumni. So please sit this one out. And Southern win a game.
I'm with my man Edwin Moore. I think it's a lose-lose for Valley. I think if it's a Valley game, shit, play them up in Jackson somewhere.
Well, see, Coach, that's what I'm trying to tell you, but you got to think they only moved that game. That's what I'm saying. I'm giving T-Buck and their AD credit. They looked at the number, and the number was like, move it. They're not going to move the game just to be moving it. So that number had to be a number.
I think for recruiting as well, it could be a big step.
I totally agree with that, Rocky. I think that is huge.
Yeah, I think we'll see, man.
I think of it. My issue with the game is you take away your competitive advantage as far as at Mississippi Valley. This is another, and I hate to say this, guys. Y'all may not view it this way, but I certainly do. But this is another money game.
Yeah.
You taking the game away from the parents of those kids who are attending Mississippi Valley so that the school can make some money.
They move it to Jackson, Mississippi, not Atlanta.
But see, guys, listen to what I'm saying. You keep saying that it's not Valley did not move it. Somebody paid Valley to move it. If somebody paid them to move it to Jackson, and Coach, you know this, Valley has moved. I think, what was that? I mean, that might have been the spring season. Valley moved their game to Jackson to play Southern.
Yeah, I see what you're saying. So to the audience, just to be straight with Coach Campbell was saying, they might have gave Valley $150,000 to move to come to Atlanta to play. That's what you're saying.
Right.
It's not a Mississippi Valley thing. It's the promoter came in and said, okay, we want to buy your game. What would you make at home?
Correct.
All right,
and let me
here's that money. You would make it home. Now my wondering is, okay, when you come up there, do you make more or not? I don't know. That's probably in the contract.
Now next year, are y'all gonna sell it to the promoter?
Absolutely not. You know that's not happening.
Even if it's Valley, I wouldn't sell it.
I don't think. Well, let me tell you something. I can't speak for my AD. If she moves that game, that means she's gonna make a great business decision. So let me say that my AD, we don't do raffle tickets. So here's the thing: if she moves it, it's because FAMU is gonna come out in a plus.
Right.
So let me answer it that way.
Yeah, I don't see her moving no damn Mississippi Valley game out of Rattler Stadium. Shit. I don't even think nobody can buy y'all out of that game because y'all gonna fill it up and you probably gonna play them on homecoming again? Right. Well, we did, and we didn't play them on homecoming this year because it was a little bit later. But yeah, that you know how that goes. You know the list. You know how the list goes. Yeah. Let me say
the Rattlers will put PV on homecoming, so it don't matter who they put on homecoming.
Listen, Grambling, we done Grambling too. So we don't care. But no, I just thought, Coach, as a, when you saw that, when I saw that, and like I said, of course she was speaking to the NEA, you know what I'm saying, doing what she does, speaking to the crowd. But I just thought it was funny because, in the groups, and people like, I can't believe AD's son said that. She disrespected Mississippi Valley. Man, y'all go somewhere with that foolishness.
Hey, man, I love that, Coach. Shit, I love that. And I came right back and doubled down on it.
Yeah, what she say? This is FAMU, Georgia.
Come on, man. We know it is.
Yeah, shit. I would even went on and attack their culture. Like,
I know y'all had how. Hey,
no
I know for a championship game, y'all ran laps around Howard. I don't even know if they was even there.
Listen, that's the only thing that I hate that we did not get in with Jay. That was the one thing that I wanted to understand. How are you playing a national championship game with the vice president and it's only you and her and the Howard people that's there? Come on, man. What's the problem? I wanted to know that, but with that being said, but I just think, but Coach, Coach, cause let me say something, Coach, because you hit on something. This is what I think we are missing. You talked about this. And you spoke about this before, but tell these people what these coaches would do on these bus rides, like you say, on the road shows, about the trash talking, or even during the week of the games. Can you talk about maybe one time that you say, hey, my coach did this against that coach?
Man, I was on the bus. I had an opportunity to ride on a SWAC tour bus where we went from school to school. So I was with Marino Cass and Eddie Robinson, Gunslinger, W.C. Gordon, all the major coaches, and they sit up front and the players sit in the back. And man, it's just trash talking from A through Z, and they telling stories about the old man that he went to church, and every time the lady was standing up, the lady had her dress on and her butt cheeks was getting the dress. So he reached and pulled it out. She turned around and slapped him. And church kept on going, and she stood up again. He just took his finger and put it right back in there. That's how I ended up with two black eyes. Oh man, it's just the stories, man, about dumb football players and taking the tests and coaching. It's trash talk, Coach. And then afterwards, the coaches are still together, man. And that's what made people get involved with black college football, man. That's what it's about. That's that extra we got. We don't do like the PWI schools. We trash talk. We have fun, But at the end of the day, everybody is family, man. It's all family. It's all good.
But Coach, I will say one thing, Rock, and I'll let you get in this. But you just said, but this is the reason why we have to have continuity in the coaches. Because when you've been around a coach 2, 3, 4, 5, and you battle with it, and there's a level of respect, like you say, they're really friends. But then they can show that person out because, hey, and I'll just use TC and Coach. They don't know each other, so they're not going to say nothing. You know what I'm saying? Because I don't know if I can joke with this guy. I don't know him like that. But if you battle a guy 8, 9, 10 years old on the road show, know his family, seeing his kids grow up, then you can start taking those jabs and things like that those coaches did because there was a continuity of coaches.
Yeah, I mean, Rocky brought it out about how we switched coaches in the last 20 years. And all of us know one thing, continuity is you can't pay for that. You can't buy that. And that's one of the things that we've gotten away from when you're talking about coaching, 100 players. You need continuity. You need that opportunity to put your team together and work instead of every year you starting over, new philosophy, here come another coach, and you never get no continuity, Coach. And that's why look at these records. I mean, TC Taylor had a great record, but everybody else is 6 to 5 to underneath. You know what I mean? But we had 3, 4 winning teams every year. Out of 12.
Well, Coach, like I say, with the addition of Sam Shade and Tremaine Jackson, they went after quality coaches, Coach. And so we'll see how that turns out for them. Well, Coach, we hit 2 hours, Coach. Campbell, you got anything before we wrap this thing up?
No, man. Again, once again, I think great shows. Shout out to Tiffany Green, my fellow rattler, to come in there. And man, and I'm just gonna say this: her and Jay, you know, we joke, and that's what I'm saying. We joke, but I'm so proud of what they do and what they bring. Like I said, they are for the culture, and they did do such a great job. And like I said, Coach, thank you for allowing the opportunity for Tiffany to come on, because I think that was great for Jay to have his, as they say, his running partner to give him his flowers. So I really appreciate that.
Right, man. I mean, you talking about two of the faces of Black college football on our show. You talk about Doug Williams and Eddie Robinson and Trey Oliver and Chennis Berry, and you know, I think we've missed maybe 4 or 5 major coaches on our show. I don't think you can get it more better. I don't even think ESPN and these other have put out the products and the coaches that we've done on our show. You know, we try to bring into your living room what these coaches think, what they go through, what their players think, what they go through. So I think it's really big. You know, I can't say enough about Rocky and Coach Campbell about, you know, sharing this dream and this reality with me on down, you know, on being able to broadcast and bring Black college sports and mostly football into your living room, man. I think it's a blessing. I thank my Lord up top to always watch over me, to make sure I had a sandwich and I was always able to feed my family. I want to thank you. You know, again, you know, things are tough in this world. And I always say, if you feel yourself at the end of the road, tie a knot and hold on tight, because ain't nobody bad like you.